go, 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 go!
Off and moving here.
And Taylor has made the first cut, very closely followed by Digger. I'm basically seeing a very fast start from Digger and Hillboys, but there's a lot to play for still, and a lot of time to go.
Look at this, we've got a loader on its side.
He may have to reset this if he can't write it. GTR is lining things up. The guys can get this in, they are going to be in prime position. But look at that, a bit of teamwork there. GTR just reversing ever so slightly to help Hillboys get those into the truck. That's a genius strategy.
They actually have a good amount of trees there ready to load. I'll tell you what, this is unbelievably close. He's honking. I think he is on his way out. So we're just getting the console team coming in now to slow the container. Farmer Hamish is on his way in. He's running straight down the train tracks. No care at all for his well-being.
Hello everyone, welcome, welcome. Hope you can hear me. Give me a shout if you can't. Args is just doing his chat to his guys. There we are. Hello, Args.
I am here. G'day, how are you?
I'm alright, how are you, mate? Nice to see you.
Good, thank you, good, thank you. Yes, it's good to be back. I was just saying to the guys here in chat that it feels like forever since the last round, but I think with Easter and everything in between, and we're sort of 6 days into May as well, whereas the last one was right at the start of April.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a longer month. It was a five-week month, this one, so it's definitely felt a little bit longer, but nice to be back, and raring to go. We've got a full house of teams ready to go tonight, so looking forward to it.
Yes. So we're just having a little bit of a changeover with which team's going first, just a little hiccup with some equipment, but once that's sorted and everyone's in here, we'll be all good.
Shall we just jump in and have a look at the teams for tonight, Args? I'm going to look at 1v. There we go. Too many options.
Indeed.
So solo players tonight: Motocross and BMX versus DJ Bob versus Sharp Farmer, and then we've got Tobias, Modern Logging, and Farming Alex. And then our third game will be Samu, Gaming with James, and Farming Alex again. So the premise of tonight is to try and get everybody on the equal number of games before we roll into the final 2 rounds, isn't it, Args?
That's right. So we could have a look at the solo standings if you've got that. Just see where everyone sits.
I do indeed. Solo standings currently.
The teams for tonight, FSG.
Yes, sorry, I have no audio if I'm on those channels. I set it up wrong, so.
That's all good.
You read it out.
Got you. I'll read it out and everyone can hear me. So, looking at tonight's games, so that first one between Modern Logging and Power Team Esports, that's been swapped, so we're actually starting off with... no, we have corrected it. That is all up to date. So that is our first game, Modern Logging versus Power Team Esports. Farmer Hamish in the background doing some great work to get that slide all updated for us. And then the Pinnacle Loggers coming up against Pick a Pallet, and again, Pinnacle Loggers against the Logmeisters. So for 3 very exciting matches there. I think there could be some very close run matches. It'll be interesting to see how things pan out.
It will. It will. Yeah. No, definitely. And we've had a few rounds now, and the guys have, I know, been practicing in between, so they'll be on the game tonight. I think we're getting to the pointy end of the season.
We certainly are. We certainly are. So I think one thing just to discuss before we get started, after the last round, there was a bit of commentary around the use of super strength in the final match with Bargon, and we actually brought that up in the highlights package. We've made a general ruling that there will be no intervention with super strength. So if you make a mistake, if you make an error, just as a Formula 1 driver going off into the gravel trap, you're out of the race. So, you need to be a little bit more cautious, a little bit more careful. If there's a justifiable reason, whether it's a server bug or something like that, then we'll consider it. But if it's an issue through your own devices, through your own making, then we won't be intervening at all.
That's right. That's right. And we should probably say as well, there will be some giveaways of Thrustmaster joysticks before the end of the season as well, won't there, Args? We'll have to do something. We've got,
there will be,
obviously, prizes for the teams and the solos, but we have actually got a few extra sets that we'll think of a mechanic to make sure that you guys who have stuck with us and supported us through the season can join and see if you can win yourself a set of joysticks.
Yeah, 100%. It's very exciting. Looking forward to being able to give you those opportunities.
Yeah. Right, Args, it looks like the teams are ready. I'm going to jump into game now, and we are just about ready to go here, aren't we?
It does look that way. So I'm starting up here. I've moved up to the sell point with the trucks, and I've got Oblix from Power Team Esports up against Farming Alex. So they look like they will be loading up the containers there onto the back of the trucks and running those down to the arena. You must have everyone else back up with you.
I do. They are ready on their blocks, ready to go. So I think we're just waiting for Hamish to give us the nod. Of course, we've got the timer in the top corner of the screen there for you guys watching, so you can see as soon as the game starts as well.
Absolutely. So it'll be interesting. We didn't get the train interfering until the very, very last match last time. So it'll be interesting to see how we get on today with the train, whether the rail schedule is a little bit different and could cause some hiccups. Time
Yes,
will tell.
indeed. Yes, indeed.
Something to watch out for. That's always an exciting part of this.
Indeed. And Scooter's just said in my chat, and I echo it as well. I'm sure you do as well, Args. Massive thanks to Hamish. And also, I think Mark Haythornthwaite's been dabbling in the background as well, helping us over the last few weeks to get things ready again.
Yes, I do certainly echo that. But we're off and underway, and I've got the two guys into the trucks, side by side, and moving out of the space. It's actually quite tight for them to get out here. It's a little bit of a challenge, but they're up and going.
And down here, Args, we've got Samu and Valo both in the harvesters. Samu got an early head start, but they're pretty close to each other in terms of pegging at the moment. It's going to take a while to... Well, Valo's just got his first tree down, and he is out and pulling it onto the platform already. Samu not far behind him.
All right, well, we've just had a very interesting little interaction down here. Oblix parked his truck in a way that didn't really leave Farming Alex anywhere to park his for the container, so he's just pulled right in front of Oblix on the wheel loader, blocked him off, forced him to reverse, and now they're sort of battling over the space. It's actually very, very confined down here today.
Oh, sounds competitive.
It is. There's a little bit of competition going on there, but Oblix has not been distracted by that. He's manoeuvred his wheel loader. He's got his container on perfectly, and it looks like he will take an early lead on the way down to the arena.
Well, we've got first tree down and cut here. El Pepito is just trying to pick those logs up as Valo's coming down with the second tree. They've had a little bit of they've clipped each other actually and had a little bit of an incident. And Samu and Modern Logging just working away on the other side as well.
Well, things are turning from bad to worse down here from Farming Alex. I'm not sure what he's trying to do with his truck. His manoeuvring and positioning of where he's trying to get his container is interesting. But Oblix equally went and left his wheel loader parked right behind Farming Alex's truck. But he's just used his wheel loader to manipulate the trailer a little bit and get things pivoted around. But certainly, there's some fire in the competition down here today.
They're starting angry. Well, down here, Power Team Esports have got a little bit of a messy pile going on, and they've left their the tops of their trees in there, whereas modern logging's been very careful about sorting those tops of the trees out, which can have an impact on your score, can't it?
It can. Honestly, FSG, you won't believe what's happening down here, but Farming Alex has just flipped his wheel loader over about a 180 degree, and now he's having to move his truck. The container's sitting across it in the yankiest angle I think I've ever seen. But he's strapped it on. He looks like he might be going for it with this, which could actually be an interesting tactic.
Okay.
No, he has. He's unstrapped it, and now he looks like he's having another go at getting this container loaded up, so... Not all going to plan for them.
It's interesting with this round, actually, isn't it? Because it's not a huge priority to have the trucks down here straight away, but obviously the longer you take, at some point you're going to have an issue.
That's right. Farming Alex is going to have an issue because he's putting his container on with the door around the wrong way now, not facing to the back. So I'm not sure if he's going to correct that or not.
Wow. So modern logging have definitely got the neater pile of logs here. We're having a few issues. The Power Team Esports boys are having a few issues. All their logs are in the way of Valo coming back down the hill. So every time he gets a neat El Pepito gets a neat pile, Valo reverses into it. So but they're making good progress in terms of quantity of trees, though. All
right. So Farming Alex is strapped on, and looks like he's manoeuvring his way out of here with the container facing the wrong way, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge for the team. Interesting, what loader do they have, FSG?
They have got the front grab, the standard front grab. So Obelix has got the standard front grab. Modern logging is using the grapple on the Volvo excavator.
Right, so that could actually work out all right for these guys. While the door on the container is the wrong way, at least with that Volvo excavator and the grapple, they might be able to swing it in a little bit easier than if it was with the wheel loader. But I'm following Farming Alex down. Obelix must be pretty much down there already. Can't be too far away.
He is there, and El Pepito has already started to load him up. So, yeah, a little bit of a first mover advantage, being down here and getting loaded already. But modern logging is incredibly organised here, I have to say.
Alright, will be interesting to see what happens here. And a couple of calls in chat for some penalties and professional fouls going on there, so that could require a little bit of a post-match review around that. I think both players could be deemed to be responsible for some incidents, but Farming Alex is actually stuck on the train tracks.
Oh dear.
Seems to be having some issues with the low loader and getting across the rails here. No, he's freed himself. Yes. Without getting caught on the train.
I think you're right, though, Args. There's a code of conduct, isn't there, that you really shouldn't be blocking or getting in the way of other players. Sometimes it happens by accident, but yeah, actively blocking other players isn't really allowed. No, and it's an interesting thing actually, because without knowing what field of view and perspective people are playing at, you can actually do something without realising you've done it. If you're really zoomed in the cab or anything like that, and just reacting to it. But that's right. I have to say, modern logging is ready to go as soon as Farming Alex gets down here. He's going to be loading his container incredibly quickly, I think.
All right. I wonder if he's just suffering a little bit of lag or not as well. He's just sort of struggled a little bit around a couple of corners, but he's not too far away. And like I said before, this is the one course. With the distance the trucks have to travel, this is the one course where it is possible to catch up, because your team can be all ready to start loading.
That's right. El Pepito is... they're not loading particularly quickly, actually, at the moment. They're taking a bit of time to get organised, but slowly but surely. They're 2 layers in now, so they definitely have a little bit of a head start. We've got an ETA on Farming Alex. Args?
He's just coming along the road now. He's not too far away. I've just sort of skipped ahead of him a little bit. But let's see if I can catch him again. I've actually completely lost him in the trees. No, he's still down. He must have got caught on a tree proper. I kind of left him moving along thinking he'd be there very soon, but he's coming past the Thrustmaster Logging League sign. down at the main spawn point, and he will
Okay.
be there momentarily.
No worries. Well, it's safe to say modern logging is ready and prepped for him here. I think they've got more than enough logs for a container here. They just need to start loading them pretty quick. Our Team Esports guys are well over half full now as well. So El Pepito's nearly flipped his own trailer there. But he's got away with it.
It's an interesting thought here, FSG, something we haven't really discussed. Every player sort of has a role and something to do.
Yep.
But if one of the players was having an issue with the connection or anything, there's nothing actually really stopping Samu or Modern Logging, in this instance, jumping in and taking the truck down to the sell point, really, is there?
No, not at all. Not at all. And that's the beauty of it. You know, Samu is pretty much done here now. So, like you say, if Farming Alex is having issues, he could more than swap roles for sure. Farming Alex is kind of picking his way through. He's coming actually the wrong way here because he's getting in the way of the Power Team Esports team's kit. Valo has very kindly got out of the way to let him go through, actually.
Yeah.
They managed to close each other.
Not a lot of space. Not a lot of space.
Right, there we go. Farming Alex is in position here. Modern Logging is off and running. But the Power Team Esports guys, I would say, are not a million miles away from being full. El Pepito can get a couple of decent loads in. He will be ready to go, I think.
Just watched Modern Logging. The first logs he grabbed sort of almost filled the bottom layer of the container. In fact, it did. So you grab these and get these swung in pretty well. Like I said, actually the positioning of the containers, almost a masterstroke from him here. Farming Alex is just driven in and parked next to Modern Logging, and he's just.
I think there was some discussions going on there, wasn't there? Because that was beautifully placed. Oh, look at that load from Modern Logging there. He is fast catching up with the other guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's not much behind now.
Now, Modern Logging, I mean, we've seen it in earlier rounds, haven't we? He is pretty deft at handling that machine, so I would say
absolutely.
Not far off neck and neck now.
No, and he's just picking 2 or 3 logs up at a time, swinging them in. There's nowhere he has to go. He's just going straight in. He doesn't have to maneuver and angle, twist anything to get around there. That's the first time just there that he's had to move the excavator just to get a little bit closer, but still, with the reach on that arm, he is going to be close enough to throw these logs in.
That's right.
Like even in that instance, instead of mucking around trying to pick up a second or third log, he's just safe picking up that single one and getting it in there. And look, I reckon it is pretty much neck and neck as I look across these 2 containers to see who's got what in it.
But look at this load here. This is going to get them. This is going to get them the full container. No question. No question. If you can get these 2 in here, I think he's. Did drop that one, but it's close enough that he could. Yeah, they're done. They're done. Farming Alex is reversing. They are heading out of here.
Wow, what a comeback!
So the challenge is now going to be how easily can he get out. He's beached himself a little bit on those logs there, but he's got out of it. He's fine. But we have got issues here. We've got vehicles all over the place here.
Yeah. Oh goodness, he's going to need a little push here from Modern Logging. Yeah. He's moving into position.
Farming Alex.
Power Team Esports guys.
There
if this backup here from Oblix gets it full, that's them full. And we've got a log across the way. Right. Oh my goodness.
Alex is moving things out of the way, but yes, they're full as well. This is going to be a close one. Well, we're lucky we've got Easy Dev on tonight, Arg, so we can keep up with them.
Indeed, indeed.
Well, I'll stick with Farming Alex, and I'll let you follow the Power Team Esports guys.
Yes, Oblix has actually chosen to go the other way out here.
Interesting.
Because he was facing that way. I'm not sure if it's any faster or not. It'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah.
I'm impressed Alex made it out first as well, Jos, but did you see the speed of that loading? That was hugely impressive. But Oblix is struggling around a rock, but no, he's on his way, so he's just following this dirt track. We'll see where he comes out.
Yeah, Farming Alex has come to a junction. I would almost say he's a little bit confused there as to where to go. Yes, he's reversing. No, he's not. He's decided to keep going on this route. No, he's stopped. He's reversing again.
right, well, I'm following Oblix along down here by the river. We're almost over near the Super Chaos course, and I reckon that was almost chaotic. And there's a little ford across the river he is taking, and he is heading up. This is down near the paper mill, and he's managed to get beached on the train tracks as well. He's struggling with the angle and getting the low loader over.
So Alex is struggling a little bit here. He's got stuck on a small ridge, but he is freed himself. Going to run the other side of the tracks here, and then hopefully drop a road higher up.
Oblix has changed his mind. He's realised he can't get across that with the low loader, and he's running further along the river here. We said who'd bring something different. Well, I don't know if these guys meant to bring something different like this, quite like this, but it has certainly added some excitement to the first match.
Indeed it has. It's been a close one. Alex is on his way now. I think he's feeling more confident about where he's going now. Definitely felt a little bit lost there at the start, but he's wedged himself around a tree here. Needs to remember he's got a very long trailer on today.
All right. Well, Oblix has just pulled out onto the road. He's going completely cross-country, and there is actually another little river crossing over here, is there? No, there is not. I'm not sure if... Oh, no, he may make it through here. It does look like there's a track going down both sides, and the river's not going to be too deep.
Well, Alex is actually going for it. Alex is actually doubling back here. I was surprised he didn't just gun it over the railway line when he got too close to the road, but he's decided to head up this way.
The train has just gone past the sawmill FSG, and we're coming into the backside of it. Completely different route. This is... I'd love to map these out and see actually where everyone has gone. But Oblix is looking to me like he's going to make it here to the sell point first.
Yeah, Alex is just coming down to the junction just before. I can see the train passing in front of us now.
And there we go. Oblix has just crossed the line, just on 14 minutes. So here we go. Power Team Esports men have made it through first.
Farming Alex has got himself stuck on the level crossing, unfortunately. The level crossing was down, and he got clipped by it. But he is on his way now. He's just about to cross the bridge. Modern Logging following him as well. I'm going to just pass the G portal and the Thrustmaster signs in a second.
I can see him coming along there, FSG, and I can see you racing through the middle of the sky. You look like you're doing some good air running there. Well, we haven't quite finished. Farming Alex. Oh, he's drawn straight into the van.
I do wonder if Alex has maybe got a little bit of lag or something. There's been a few instances where there was elements that, yeah, maybe if he's lagging slightly, weren't in the same position on his screen as they are on mine.
Absolutely, I get the very much the same feeling. Now he's cleared the crossing though, which is the important part, and he's coming across to get things sold. And there we go, 15:22. The clock stops at, so just over a minute longer than the Power Team Esports guys. So we're going to need a penalty of about $1,400 between the sale values for Modern Logging to come out on victorious there. But first match done and dusted, and it certainly didn't disappoint.
It did not. That was a close one. That from a quite a big head start there. I think Modern Logging was the difference there in bringing them back into the game, really.
100%. I thought Modern Logging were completely out of it there with the issues Alex had getting his container loaded up, but some very, very swift loading there, and really they probably actually pretty disappointed they won that and lost that in the end, because
that's right.
They certainly caught back up and they were the first to leave the arena, and even considering where Oblix drove to get down here, I thought he'd butchered it from a winning position as well. So it was anyone's game right up to sort of the last minute.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So we'll just wait for the scores to come in here, and we will see who came out victorious there. We'll get the nod from Hamish. We are good to go. So let's just click over our first 1v1 result. I'm looking at an empty screen.
Ooh. Well, I can see the scores FSG, and the Power Team Esports 1404, Modern Logging 1522. But Power Team Esports had $1,000 penalty, which ends the match only 14 seconds apart.
Oh, really close in the end then. Yeah.
Really close. Do you know that time that Alex spent even just colliding with that van and getting stuck on that van probably cost him 10 seconds. So
Yes.
right down to the end, right down to the last few minutes, the last few seconds.
I would say as well, if he'd not stopped at the junction and reversed and gone the other way, if he'd kept going and dropped onto the road lower down, he would have been fine as well. So yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. Interesting how close the margins are, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. And again, shows that penalty is probably a very appropriate level that we've got it set at. It's working out very well for leveling the playing field.
Yes, indeed. Yep. So we are just getting ready for the next game. Those guys have just finished dropping out, and we are getting the next teams in. I think we're going straight for another 3v3 game, aren't we, Args?
We are, and we're heading down to the other stage, the arena down near the river, with
That's
the
right.
predefined boxes and the little chicane, which has proved problematic the last couple of matches. But Pinnacle Logging coming up against Pick a Pallet. So a couple of established teams. Pick a Pallet have certainly been probably one of the form teams in this competition and been with us right since our first ever exhibition match.
They have indeed, as have certainly Kegarino has been with us since the very start as well, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. That's right. So we're just letting the guys log in there. But takeaways from that first match, FSG, what was your thoughts?
A really impressive loading from Modern Logging himself rather than the team. But yes, no, they were properly organised, and I think even though Alex was arriving a lot later with the trailer, they had a beautifully stacked set of logs, and they were very, very quick at loading. Definitely impressive that was. I like that.
Yeah, I'm sort of noticing it's a bit of a trend. If the operators are experienced with that grapple excavator, then they can load logs very, very quickly, and I'd say even quicker than the wheel loader. Where they have a good stack of logs as well, if they don't have to move it because it's not the fastest piece of kit, it can certainly turn a game around.
That's right. There was real rhythm to try saying that. Real rhythm there to Modern Logging. Once he got into his stride, he just kept, it was like a pendulum, just swinging, pick up and unload. It was great. Great to see.
Good. It was.
Darth Horlicks says that was quick loading with the Volvo grapple. Indeed it was. Indeed it was.
All right, so we're just waiting for the teams to get all loaded in. And down at stage number 2, we've got a few of them here.
So it may be worth just having a little scout around this course, because although it looks easy or simple from the outset, it is in fact quite a challenge, because the trailers that you've got available to you are long, and the chicane you have to get into at the start is very tight. You can do it; it is possible, but you've got to be inch perfect with your driving to get it in there. And we've seen that a lot on other rounds, haven't we, Args? That can cause a few issues.
Absolutely, yeah. The chicane certainly has been the toughest part for the truck drivers to negotiate, navigate around. Interesting looking at the selections of equipment here as well. We've got the team on the left. Looks like that might be our Pick a Pallet guys. Have got the 2 Volvo excavators, and they're a bit slower to get in. So the Pinnacle Logging guys, if they're using the Komatsu, certainly have an advantage there.
Yeah, looks like we're having a little bit of an equipment change here as well, Args. With I'm Hamish bringing the high lift in. Kegarino here.
I did notice that. Yeah, I saw the wheel loader disappearing. I was wondering what was happening, but last minute equipment change there.
You know my views on the high lift?
No, tell us about
it. I would say it's my favourite piece of equipment.
All right, good to know.
I can't understand why people use the front loader when the high lift's available to them, because it can carry more, you can rotate the head of it, all of those things.
Right. You don't work for Volvo, do you? You sound like a salesman.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Keep going like that, and you'll get there. We'll get you there.
That's right. That's right. Right.
So it looks like we've got 6 competitors in here. Kigarino Gaming with James and Sharp Farmer for the Pinnacle Loggers, and then Schiffelmeister, Tobias, and Faban on the Pick a Pallet side of things. So no Akiki today.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, they're using their reserve for the first time, which is nice to see.
At full roster, using the full roster, which is good.
Yeah.
Does set them up if someone's not available, that they can make those changes, and they've certainly come in. But look at the guys, look at the uniforms. Can we just take a minute of appreciation for the coordination here by both teams?
Professionalism is off the charts, it really is.
Absolutely.
Right, there we go. Hamish has called starters orders, so we'll be underway any second now.
Oh, Sharp Farmer just disappeared. Now he's back. Well, we're in Hamish's hands, waiting for the go.
Raring to go here.
Everyone is sort of jumping around all over the place. He's
Hamish
building
is
up the
holding
climb.
them for a long time. We'll go. We'll go.
All right, so we've got a Schiffelmeister heading over to the truck. I was pretty impressed with how he manoeuvred this in last time. He's pretty adept here with this, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes. And who's overdoing that on the other side? Sharp Farmer for the other guys.
That's right. Now, Kegarino is in their harvester, and the wheeled one, that Komatsu, is a lot quicker through the chicane than the tracked Volvos, so he will get in and start cutting very early. But Faban is doing a good job here. They're not going to be a million miles behind them. They really aren't.
No, you can certainly catch up pretty quick. Now, I'm just looking at what Sharp Farmer's doing with the truck. I thought he was meant to be loading it in position, but he looks to be trying to manoeuvre it out and lift it over. So you might need Hamish just to clarify whether what he's doing is legitimate, but he's so close to flipping his loader there. But he is. He's jumping back in the truck. He must be going to back that into position.
He's worked it out. Okay, Garino's first tree has been felled already. Gaming with James sitting, waiting for the high lift to start piling things up. Faban just going in for his first tree now.
Alright, well, Schiffelmeister's got their container on the back of the low loader, so he's certainly getting the first early advantage there. Sharp Farmer sort of caught himself out a little bit. He got his truck partly manoeuvred, then went to the container, then he's jumped back in his truck, and he's now got that in a spot where he can move the container and get it put down on the back, so he's not going to be too far behind.
Yeah. And similar to the first round, it doesn't have a huge impact early in the game, does it? If your truck's not there straight away, it has a lot more impact in the solos games.
No, but he's doing everything he can to try and tip his wheel loader over, and he's almost on the side. I don't know how he's going to recover from this FSG.
Oh dear. Oh, he's done it. Whew.
Oh,
his container's in a horrible position though, isn't it?
This container is in a terrible spot. I don't know how he's going to recover this. This could be interesting.
Farmer Hamish watching intently with his referee's hat on.
Indeed. Well, there we go. He's managed to pick it up with one fork using some benefit of FarmSim physics, but he does have it facing the wrong way now, which is going to make things a little bit hard for loading.
Uhis, we are here with, this is pick a pallet on this side here, and over here we have the Logmeisters.
Pinnacle logging.
Sorry, Pinnacle Log. In with James, a huge pile ready here. He is stacked and ready to go. He just needs a truck now. And Schiffelmeister's in and prepped and ready, so although he's in, they are still cutting trees down, but they've got their first set of logs in. Tobias is ready to go here. Schiffelmeister's manoeuvring the truck again into position.
Alright, well, Sharp Farmer's got the container dropped on. It's a little bit off to the side, which actually could work for them with the way that Volvo high lift works, being able to pivot things around. He hasn't strapped the container down yet, so I hope it's not going to go anywhere. And he's getting into his Volvo. So I wonder if Farmer Hamish has said you can get it loaded on the truck, move it out, and then twist it around if you wish. But I reckon he could have almost left it sticking out the side a little bit like he was, and Gaming with James could have approached it from a different angle. There we go. Ruling from Farmer Hamish, official ruling there from the referee, as he's been given permission to relocate it from out here in a little bit more space.
I've got to say, Tobias has been super rapid with his loading here. They're already getting on for half a container full. Very impressive. Oh,
I reckon Gaming with James has just about got half a container sitting in that high lift waiting to go.
That's true, yeah. Yes, thank you for clarifying, Akiki. My apologies there for dishing out the wrong names.
I just see the train going through in the background now. I think we decided it was at about a 4 or 5 minute loop.
That's right.
So just keep that in the back of your mind. We're at 4 minutes 40. So around that 9 minute 40 mark, the train will be here. Around the 9 minute mark, the train will be up at the sawmill. So interesting to see whether that's going to cause us any issues. Sharp Farmer's on his way in and now having to negotiate the chicane and the difficulties that come with that. And it does look like he's managed to get himself a little bit stuck.
It is really tight through there, isn't it? If you don't get it bang on, you can get into all kinds of trouble. It's almost like it follows through. If you don't get the first turn right, it follows through to the second turn and the third turn. But he's done a good job there.
Yeah. He's gone all Sebastian Vettel on that one.
Yes, he has. Right, Gaming with James.
Race through that second part.
I'm just looking to see if he's going to bring it right back to almost level pegging with this one load.
I was just coming over to have a look at the Picker Pallet team and see how full they are over here. About 2/3, I'd say, FSG, so
okay.
Let us know what Gaming with James does with this one grab.
Yeah, I would say probably a little bit less than half full, but that was some speedy loading.
Well, the difference is as well, for Barnes only just cutting down a tree, and Tobias actually has nothing to load at the moment.
So I've seen this a couple of times. They were almost like the truck was there too soon because there wasn't any logs ready.
That's right. He has got some trees actually cut down around the other side here, but maybe they were to get out of the way to get some better wood to load in, because they've kind of cut those ones down and then left them there.
That's right. Again, I'm seeing some really slick loading by Tobias here. Although they're getting a little bit confused here. They're reversing. Schiffelmeister's reversing as Tobias is trying to load it in. It's throwing them a little bit. Big shout out for Yanar in my chat for the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, Jan. That's very generous of you.
Nice work.
Right, they are nearly full.
Right.
The guys are nearly full here. Logmeisters are, I would say, maybe one good tree away from being full. They head back over to the Pinnacle guys and see what's happening here.
Gaming with James has got 4 logs, and it's not the biggest load, and that's the difference. If you're not using the high lift there to its full capacity, you are really disadvantaged. We saw last game, Modern Logging was picking up about that many logs with the Volvo and just being able to pivot and twist it around. But
that's right.
I reckon if he can squeeze up and grab pretty much what Kigarino's got ready for him to load, he'll be full, because they are not too far away. Now, the other thing to say, FSG, is these guys have been the team that probably spent the most time practicing. They've shared screenshots in Discord of their work. They've recreated a lot of the course to be able to do it and practice as accurately as they can. So they've really put some time and effort into things.
They have indeed. Well, Tobias has just closed the door of the container, and Schiffelmeister is on his way. If you can navigate this chicane, and he's taking it nice and slow as well. He's caution being the best part of Valor here. He's going to take his time, make sure he gets this right. Even when you're taking it easy, you can be incredibly tight. Look how tight that was there.
Schiffelmeister's Game with James is
out and away here. Oh,
sorry. Yeah, nice. Game with James is just getting a few logs. If you can get these picked up, they will be full. And nice to see Tobias coming over here and giving some moral encouragement to the guys there in the chat, telling them to keep working. They're only one tree away, so hopefully with this one loaded up. What a difference it would have been. Gaming with James was probably sitting with that load in the high lift for a better part of a minute or two, waiting for Sharp Farmer to get in here. So what a difference that would have made if he was able to get those loaded up a bit quicker.
That's right. That's right. Right, Shufflemeister's well on his way here. He's out on the main road now and gunning it towards the shop and the roller coaster.
Nice. Well, Shark Farmer's shut the doors, or Kigurino's shut the door on the container, and Shark Farmer is making his way out here as well. So we'll see how well he can get around. He's going to need a little bit of a push here from going with James with the high lift. Get that trailer twisted around a little bit better for him, maybe.
The train's just passed us again here, Args, as well. So that is going to, I think, be out of the equation for any issues up at the sawmill.
Right. It could be an issue for Shark Farmer. He has to go over the train tracks once. Oh, no, he doesn't. No, he'll be fine. We're on the right side of the tracks here.
Right, Schiffelmeister crossing the first bridge, heading up to the gas station, and the logo's at the side of the road, and he is flying. Got an open road, no traffic in the way, all looking good here.
All right, and the train's just gone past us as well on that 9 minutes 40 mark, so bang on 5 minutes for that lap. But Shark Farmer's really got himself into a little bit of a pickle here. Game with James is doing his best to help him get things unhooked, unconnected from the fence. Hopefully they're going to be able to get this manoeuvred out. There we go, unstuck, and that should see him out of the chicane and on the way down. Indeed he is.
Getting a lot of love for Schiffelmeister's driving here in the chat. He has been super smooth and slick on his way. He's not had any issues at all. He's over the line here, and he is sold at 10:33. That is a fast time.
That is an impressive time. It was quite anticlimactic. I thought something was happening. I thought there was going to be an issue down there, but Shark Farmer's coming down. He is at the roller coaster. He's actually taken the route, and I wonder why more people don't do this and actually carried around the back of the roller coaster to swing onto the main road. A lot of people seem to turn before the roller coaster, but I reckon the way he's going is just one turn, just the left-hand corner here. It's negated quite a lot of the intersections.
That's right.
And he now has a straight run all the way down to the sawmill.
Very, very impressive driving, though, from Schiffelmeister there. Very impressive. Yoss has given me F1 updates as well. Thank you, Yoss.
All right. Status quo. We won't give any spoilers.
What do you mean?
All right, so we're just
you can predict the F1 before it's even started these days.
That's true. That's true. We're just coming past the gas station. Halfway along, I can see the G Portal sign and the Thrustmaster sign. Again, a big shout out from both of those companies for supporting us. G Portal providing the servers, and Thrustmaster obviously as our naming rights sponsors, and coming through with some goodies that we'll be able to share with probably the winners of our competition, and hopefully some within the community as well.
That's right.
Those of you watching.
Yeah.
But Shark Farmer is here.
Here he is. He's going to sweep in here. Interesting, both of them have taken the top road. Most of the time we see them taking that middle one in between the two piles of logs, but both of them always jackknifed it on the way in. Poor Shark Farmer's he's not had the best of runs tonight with that truck, has he? That's been a tough one.
No, but there we go, stopping the clock at 12.5 minutes.
So we're looking almost 2 minutes difference between the guys. So let's see if there's any penalties on the log front.
On the scoreboard.
Take that from there.
Dare I say it, FSG, that 2 minutes is probably the time that was spent faffing around with the container at the start.
Yes, I think you're probably right.
And here comes the train.
There we go. There we go. Again, wonder if there's any ping issues there as well, any connection issues.
Could be. It's a real consideration for everyone to have.
It's an admirable time. 12.5 minutes on that course is still a very good time.
It is.
They should not be embarrassed.
Tobias has just said he's going to the Volvo factory on Monday.
He's looking for sponsorship after that run, I think.
Looking for sponsorships. Well, next, keep an eye out. Logging League Round 5.
Yes.
We might have Team Volvo
That's
Wouldn't
right.
that be nice to see?
That's right. So we are just waiting on the scores coming in. They are already there. So let's take a look at the results here. Logmeisters. Exactly the same. So they both had full containers, so no penalties. So we are as we were on the road there. 2 minutes
So
exactly
pretty much,
difference.
Yeah, 2 minutes exactly. I was just going to comment on that. So very good effort, well won match there by Logmeisters, and very valiant effort by Pinnacle Logging. Just a few issues that they'll look to iron out for their next match.
That's right. That's right.
And of course, we do see them coming up a little bit later. They do have another one, so they'll reflect on that result and figure out what they can do to improve on the next one. I think they might be on the same stage again too, so chance to make an amendment.
Indeed, they've got time to redeem themselves in their second game, haven't they? So that should be good. Right, we are going to head down now to our first solos game.
We are. Tab our way down there and find out who we're playing, who's doing what.
So Sharp Farmer's here already and waiting. He is super keen.
He is.
Super keen. We're just waiting for the other guys to join in.
Good to go. So having a look at our list, we have got Sharp Farmer, like you said, FSG, Motocross and BMX, and DJ Bob will be joining him for this match. So we'll be looking to see how things go, what DJ Bob learned from his first experience in Logging League last round, and see if Motocross and BMX and Sharp Farmer can progress a little bit further from where they have been.
Indeed, yes, indeed. You know, it's I always like the solos. I think there's a different sort of pace to them, isn't there? So
yeah, there is. There's a little bit more strategy, I think, with how many trees do you cut down. I mean, obviously the teams, it's easy for the guy cutting the trees just to keep cutting, so you never sort of see an issue where they don't cut enough and have to jump back in. But for the solos, it's a real thing that we see too many times. Players don't cut down enough trees and they have to jump back after loading 3/4 of a container to get another tree, and it seems to just disrupt flow.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've seen that a couple of times, haven't we? That if you don't get it right, it can really hamper you from a score perspective.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we'll see if these teams have learnt from that at all, if they can come in and make sure they cut down enough trees. I think just the effort to go and cut down one more tree, even if it's lying down somewhere that's not convenient to get to have it pre-cut, you're just taking your loader over to pick it up, is a lot different to jumping in and out and having to fiddle around with equipment. But we'll see what happens. Just want to say thank you to Chinook for the 5 gifted memberships in the channel as well. Appreciate it, mate.
Nice one, Chinook. Now, I think Hamish has gone to round up our other competitors who may have not been in the right place. So,
good as Workbench is saying, in the final we should have an Argsy versus FSG versus Hamish solo match.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that if you are.
Oh, I'm always keen for a bit of logging.
Yeah. So Motocross and BMX is now here as well, so we are waiting, I think, just for Farmer Bob.
DJ Bob.
DJ Bob, even. Too many Bobs.
You did this last
days.
week. You did this last time. I know, right?
Too many Bobs.
So what do you think the main challenge on this course is?
Positioning your truck so that when you leave, that you don't get either snarled up in the fences, or when you're loading your container, you're not having to kind of maneuver it more than once. I think we saw last time, I think it actually was Motocross and BMX, did a very clever thing where he parked his truck half out of his exit, and then dragged the trees over. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Some interesting tactics on this one. I don't know what you think. Do you think that one of the stages is more beneficial than the others, or do you think it's pretty average? I think actually the centre one, you almost have to make 2 turns, whereas the other ones you can actually straight line it a bit. So maybe it's slightly more difficult if you're in the middle.
I think so. I think, as you say, that the very end right-hand side one, as we're looking at it from the solo stage sign, is probably the best one, because you can straight line it and then you're heading on a straight line out the access road.
That's right.
So But I don't think, we're only talking seconds here. I think if we get a match where we have a result being decided by seconds, we'll look past those little advantages or disadvantages and just be excited how close it is.
That's right. That's right. So
it looks like, just to comment quickly, DJ Bob seems to be struggling to find the server right at the very second, so we're just waiting for him to join and then we'll be good to go. But he is in chat, he is in the server and in game trying to find us.
Yeah. I think that classic thing where you have to go backwards and forwards a few times sometimes to see the server in the list.
Indeed. Now, Sharp Farmer is our logging league Superman because he has quickly ducked into the phone booth and he's changed out of his red overalls. He's now gone into his black uniform for the solo match here.
Very good. Very good.
Mark Thor's saying we should add a poplar baling course.
Poplar baling?
That'd be too much like FarmSim League. Come on.
That's technically logging, isn't it? The trees?
Yeah, I don't know. Alright, Motocross and BMX is excited. He's ready to go. Jumping for joy. He doesn't have the health and safety award, though. He's just rocking the plain old John Deere hoodie.
Yeah.
Give Sharp Farmer the health and safety award.
I like it. I like it. Right. Just another couple of minutes, hopefully, for DJ Bob to get in, and then we'll get things underway. Just kind of look at
yes.
So all of the players can nominate their equipment ahead of Logging League. It's something Hamish organises with them through the Discord. So actually, looking at Motocross and BMX here, he has gone for the dual Volvos, the grapple and the tree cutter there. And if I come over to the middle here. DJ Bob's gone for the high lift and the Volvo again.
It's just a standard wheel loader.
Oh no, it is. Yeah, it is the standard wheel loader of the Volvo. And what's Sharp Farmer running, Args?
He's gone the same. He's got the Komatsu processing unit, so the faster tree harvester, but also just gone for the standard grapple.
Interesting.
I do want to comment about the length of DJ Bob's truck here. He's gone for the triple axle Volvo. It's a pretty long setup when you see it there all together.
It is, isn't it? It really is. Okay.
Yeah. Again, I can't get over no one using the high lift. It just seems a no-brainer to me.
Yeah.
Just looking closer at these loaders with the grapple, right? You've got to push up and then use that claw to close down across the logs and pull them back in.
Obviously, there must be some reason for it. They must be comfortable with it, practicing with it a lot.
Absolutely.
So we should.
That's the beauty of it, isn't it? Yeah, it's the beauty of the logging league. So it is individual choice. It's preferences. There might be a reason why they're comfortable with using something, not so comfortable with using another, and just see how things pan out for them. So
yes, indeed. So Tobias is saying in my chat, high lift is quite difficult with joysticks, in my opinion. That's interesting. Yeah,
I can understand that because you're not steering or anything like that.
That's right.
Joysticks.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to make a bit of a call here. Hamish is asking us to fill
for a bit longer. We should go down to one of the courses and you can demo how the high lift works, FSG.
I couldn't I? Yeah. I know my joysticks. I managed to do that brilliant thing the other day where I was removing certain key binds, and I misclicked, and instead of removing the keybind, I wiped my entire keybinds.
Oh,
so
goodness.
I'm slowly in the process of finding ones that I had changed that I need to change back again. So,
have you not learnt to have a backup of your keybinds XML?
I have now. That was me learning when I did it last week.
Yeah. Look at that, folks. Thousands of hours into the game, made the same mistake 10 times, and he's finally learned how to avoid doing it.
Yeah. It's one of those things, it'll never happen to me, and then it happens to you. And then
it happens to you.
Yeah, let's see that thing where you save a copy of them. That's what you should be doing. So,
yeah, it should.
There we go. Wouldn't it be interesting if the slight delay here with Bob joining leads to the train coming into play because it's a different point on the map and it's 5-minute loop? Whereas
isn't
if
that
we
the beauty?
started a few
Because
minutes ago,
we'll never know. We'll
Exactly.
never know.
exactly. Again, I've got to say a big shout out to Hamish. These courses look fantastic, don't they? So
They
well
do.
organised, and I know he did a ton of testing on them with a few of the other guys to make sure that they were playable. So yeah, him a little bit of a pet project for him, didn't it?
Indeed. Just taking a little bit of time to enjoy the scenery here in Silver and Forest. Are you not excited to see what Giants come up with next with the map after seeing what they did with this one?
Yes.
You know, another year of development, another year of working on new techniques and new methods for building maps. I don't know if anyone's been watching what Ola Holder from Renabu, creative Renabu, has been doing with map making with Houdini, but watching the things he is doing with maps and how he is getting that to work,
It's phenomenally clever, isn't it?
it's impressive. So if a modder can do that on his own,
Yeah.
what a team of developers can do as well, we'll look forward to seeing, because there's some real potential for the game.
Oh, there really is. There really is. I think it's a kind of really good time for FS at the moment. Lots and lots of kind of quite big advances going on in the background. I think, partly because the game has been so successful, they've actually invested that in additional staff and more developers and expanded their team so that they can do more. I think sometimes they get a bit of criticism for, how can modders do something and FarmSim can't, but it's about where they put their resources to make sure they get a game out on time. So, yeah. Looking forward to see what they come up with.
That time in between, like in between F1 and qualifying, between quali 2 and quali 3, and they have the cityscape shots and crowd shots and all that sort of thing. I feel like I'm doing that right now.
You're just panning around the map, are you?
Panning around the map, flying over the lakes, pivoting around a fire watchtower.
Yeah.
Just enjoying the scenery.
There's the train again.
You can be my Ted Kravitz, who just fills with useless facts.
Yes, just blithering along in the background.
The Kravitz to my Croft.
That's right. Yeah, you need a few punchlines, a few catchphrases.
Woody one-liners.
Yeah.
Watch out if it takes any minute. If we're going for any longer, I'll be asking for your list of dad jokes.
Oh yeah, I wasn't prepared, was I? Yeah.
No. And you start thinking. Actually, I'll let you think for later on, for when we were recording Homer, Indiana.
I'll try and remember one. Yeah.
The interesting fact there, Strody, actually, that's a very good comment. You feel the great maps are only just starting to come out, too early for them to be thinking of a new game. And I reckon that's a valid comment, actually, because you think Court Farms, what Oxy's been doing with that and how amazing that looks, and what we're over 2 years into the game development cycle. I almost feel the same, that let's let these guys push the boundaries a little bit more, maybe free up some assets and allow them to use some of the beautiful stuff Giants have done as well, and really see if the game carried on going for another couple of years before the next version was released, what they could do. Because I kind of feel like some of the maps that were done at the end of 19 sort of lost their impact, or guys like Ola, who sort of developed Renabu for 19 and then brought it back for 22, and I had to go back and rework a whole lot of stuff. Probably for the best, but there's some opportunity there.
That's right. Yeah, no, it's exciting, and I know we had a bit of a debacle the last week with a certain map, which I won't mention, but
no, doesn't need to be.
It showed, there's no question that it was a very, very good looking map. So it just shows what's potential in the future. When they're allowed to use those assets.
Yeah, for sure. And I've seen some stuff being done. I know Etienne who made Terrafarm. He's working on a mod for buildings,
house buildings,
construct buildings. Yeah, so fantastic. You deliver planks or pallets or materials to a construction site, and the house will be built. So similar to what we've seen done here with the roller coaster. So, and that's not using anything that isn't available to modders to use now. Anyhow, we've just had the update there from Farmer Hamish. DJ Bob cannot get onto the server, so he has chosen to forfeit this round, which is a little bit unfortunate. I was looking forward to seeing him back again this week and seeing how he'd developed from his first entry last round. So a little bit of a shame. It looks like we were having a two-horse race here. Sharp Farmer heads up against Motocross and BMX.
Indeed, that's a shame. But we have got a 1v1 ready to go.
We do, unless Farmer Hamish wants to jump in and be the third player. unofficial entry. So we'll leave it in Farmer Hamish's starters orders, and we'll get this one underway so we can keep things moving.
There we go.
So Sharp Farmer heads up against Motocross and BMX. This is going to be interesting because they're actually at opposite ends of the arena, so it's a bit hard for them to look over the fence and react, because I think we've seen on some of the solo matches, players react. If they see someone leaving, they're kind of like, oh, I need to go.
That's
and
right.
They might go with a slightly less container, or and that can actually allow the third person who actually stays and gets their container loaded actually the opportunity to get second. So you're going to miss that, but we're off and going. Sharp Farmer's on the way over to his unit to get started, and I'm sure Motocross and BMX is doing the same.
He is indeed. Yep, he's straight into his vehicle and he is off. Unfolded it and heading for his first tree.
So Sharp Farmer did something. He's done the same what she did with the teams match earlier. He's gone and opened the container first. So he's actually mindful of the fact that it's 10 seconds. If he'd positioned his truck, then went and opened the container and then jumped into his wheel loader, it's sort of 10 seconds, but he was running past the container anyhow and he got it open. So, if it comes down to the mere seconds in a match, that's the little decisions like that which could make a difference.
Yes, indeed. Now, Motocross and BMX has arrived at his first tree. Now, he extended his the arm of his excavator, but it was at full reach, and he couldn't get it close enough to the tree, so he's still too far away. He's going to have to re-maneuver his tracks to get clear. In fact, he's given up and he's gone for another tree.
Oh, wow. He could not move closer with the tracks.
He had his tracks sideways on, so
Gotcha.
yeah, so he couldn't stretch far enough to get to the base of the tree. So a little bit of a slow start there, but he's up and running now. First tree down and being chopped.
Yep, and Sharp Farmer's just getting his second one done, and he's just about trying to tip himself over, but he's steadied the ship and he's now getting this one cut down to length. What about you? I find that the people who use the wheel loaders for loading are a little less careful with where they position their logs.
Yes, I wonder if it's because they can, almost kind of slide them along on the ground and get them into a nice position.
Yeah, I think it's 100% that. They've got more speed and more manoeuvrability probably than the Volvo excavator. But as we saw in the first match with modern logging's loading, if you've got a good stack of logs all in one spot and a very adept operator, then they can load up pretty quickly.
That's right. Right. Motocross and BMX has found his rhythm now. He is moving quite quickly. He's onto his third tree now, and he's got a pretty nicely organised pile here.
Yeah, Sharp Farmer's just getting his third one. He's being a little bit selective with his trees. He's really going for the big tall wood that's in here.
Right, this is the point now, isn't it, Args, where you've got to do a rough calculation as to how many trees is enough trees.
I think we've counted it the last couple of times where we've seen Bargon really nail that figure, and he's gone for 6 trees. So it'll be interesting to see whether these guys do the same. So Sharp's got 3 down. He's still got 3 or 4 decent sized trees here in the corner where he's working. So he's got enough. It's just whether he decides to cut them all or not.
Yeah. Motocross and BMX has just cut his 4th tree down. That was a slightly smaller tree, but he's back for his 5th.
A pretty level pegging, and one thing I am going to say, Sharp Farmer's boxing his truck in. He's going to find it hard with the length of that low loader to manoeuvre it into a spot to try and get things opened up, so it'll be interesting to see where he goes from here.
Yes, and again, interesting from where Motocross and BMX is, he's started to pile on the other, so he's got one pile on his left and another pile on his right now. I wonder if he's going to actually drive the truck in between the 2 piles and then position his grapple at the back. I'm interested to see if he's got a plan here or if it's just the way it's landed.
Sharp Farm was listening to me. He's just got into his truck and he's moved it a little bit. And he's going for his loader. So he's cut down 4 trees and he's going to start getting them loaded up. Now, I don't know whether that's the decision because he thinks he's got enough. I don't think he does. Or whether he is just reacting to the fact he doesn't have enough space to carry on and needs to get some of these out of the way.
Yeah, so Motocross and BMX has gone for another tree here. It's actually got it stuck on the redwood. So he's having a bit of a problem here trying to get it off so he can start trimming it. Yeah, he's just going to go for it here. See what happens. But it's messed up his nice piles.
Sharp Farmer's got 4 logs in the grapple. He's deliberately, I think, left them hanging out further on the left-hand side. So as he approaches his container, he's able to get sort of towards the back of it and twist that in a little bit. And is that going to go? Just about getting it all in there. Just a little collision there on the back of the container, which he's struggling with.
Right, Motocross and BMX has decided he has cut enough trees down. I think he probably has as well. We straighten the grapple. I think he's going to put this into position first before he manoeuvres his truck into place. I've just
Sharp
noticed
Farmer
as
was
well.
trying their backup technique.
I've just noticed as well that Motocross and BMX opened the doors of his container as well when he started.
So it's little things like that, I think, as these as the logging league continues, these little tactics, little benefits, little decisions, is we're starting to see these shine through. People making those little things. It's sort of little 1%ers now, isn't it? As everyone gets more adept at this and understanding how the competition is working.
So interestingly, over here, Args, Motocross and BMX has got logs on. He's got 3 piles of logs on 3 sides. He's driven his excavator into the middle, almost like it's created a parking space with the logs, so he doesn't have to move at all when he's loading. This has been well thought out, actually.
Yeah, actually, I've just come down after he said that to have a look. He does look very, very well considered with his loading and position of everything.
Yeah. Now I think
I reckon
the one at the back here,
he's got enough trees.
Yeah, he has definitely got enough trees. The one at the back here was a bit of an unfortunate incident where it was stuck on the other tree, but he's made it work for him, definitely.
So Sharp Farmer's almost half full. I think the logs he's got in the grapple at the moment will make him half full.
Okay, Motocross and BMX has turned all his lights on as well to help him see a little bit better.
Perhaps he's heard my comment about health and safety to start with. And
Maybe.
Up his game a little bit. So Sharp Farmer didn't get the best of the last load in. He managed to drop 1 log, but wasn't in there. And he's at the point now he's just picking up solo logs to clear things up and make more space and use everything he's cut down. And this is where the manoeuvring time of this wheel loader, I think, is a big disadvantage over the excavator.
Well, I have to say, while we're here, Motocross and BMX is rapidly loading up his container. It's interesting the way he's set up here. His tracks are spinning as well. It's almost. I'd love to know what his setup is, how he's using. But he's flying here. He really is.
So Sharp Farmer's really only got, after what he's got in his grapple now to put in, he's only got 1 more tree to pick up that he's got cut, and a couple of logs scattered around that he wasn't able to pick up properly. Don't think it's going to be enough.
And interesting again to what we said at the start, Args, about having to stop, break your flow to cut down another tree.
That's right. That's right. I don't think he had any other choice because of where his logs were stacked and where he'd got himself into, so he had to sort of get them out of the way to be able to move the truck around, but we'll see how he goes.
I tell you what though, Args, Motocross and BMX is a couple of logs away from being full here. He's loaded this in double quick time.
It's pretty impressive after seeing how far Sharp Farm was full already in his container. To hear that's pretty impressive. So he's got he's got 5 logs here. This will go a long way to getting him full, but like I said, I still don't think it's going to be enough.
So now, interestingly, Motocross and BMX's container looks full, but rather than getting out and checking, he's just pushing another log towards it to see if it's full, and it's not, so there we go. Motocross and BMX is out of here. He was just
Sharp Farmer's not far behind, actually. Do you know the 4 trees Sharp Farmer cut down has just about filled his container, and he's got 3 logs just loosely scattered around, which would have been the difference.
Oh. Well, Motocross BMX is out of the arena. He's got the tight turn there. But he's... Oh, wow, that was incredibly impressive, the way he got out of there. And he's on his way.
That is impressive. So, yeah, I'm actually blown away that Sharp Farmer's managed to pick the right trees to get himself pretty much a full container, and just, unfortunately, lost a couple of logs as he's been loading, as is the case here with this grapple. That's the other advantage of the high lift, is it has those little finger grapples which hold things in place tighter too.
That's right. A motocross
There's 2
BMX
logs.
across the bridge here. He's navigated the train tracks with no problems, and he's on his way.
So I'm just looking at what Sharp Farmer's doing. No, he is going to pick those ones up. Jumped out of his loader for a second. He's just trying to get these last 2 because it is all he needs. He just needs these 2.
So did he have to cut another tree down, Args?
No, he hasn't. I
Right.
don't think he has.
Okay.
He spent the time going around and picking up individual logs rather than cutting a tree down and giving himself a stack of 5.
Right, got you.
For 4 or 5 logs. I think he's full now. Ah, no, can't quite be full. It graphically looks full, but he went out to check the container and can't have been. So while he's, oh no, he has. He's moved the wheel loader out of the way. He's closed the door and he's into his truck. So while he's been, I've got to say, while he's been very smart with which trees he cut down and he had the right amount, if he'd cut one more tree down, he wouldn't have had to muck around picking up solo logs.
Yeah.
So he would have had too many trees cut, but it's just that, yeah.
Yeah, and motocross and BMX left a load of logs on the ground, and I think you're right. It's maybe better to cut just an extra tree down while you're in that rhythm than it is to go back and try and do it later on.
Yeah, Mark Thor said lots of faffing, and that's exactly the key. Lots of faffing. Have you seen the train in your travels?
We have just passed the train. It's heading just now towards where the shop is. So, yeah,
Right.
it could come into play if Sharp Farmer's not out of there in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, he's just heading out now. He's escaped the arena and just getting towards the train crossing. Well, the first one he has to go across, and I can't see the train coming here, so he's going to get across that without any issues. But he does have to cross the tracks once more.
Right, motocross BMX passing the Thrustmaster and the G-Portal signs, and they're heading on up.
So the Sharp Farmer's taking a different route, FSG.
Oh, interesting.
He hasn't stayed to the road. He's following the river. He's gone diagonally up the map. So I don't know where this is going to take us exactly. I'm not familiar enough with the map to know where this one will head, but interesting to see if he's done some reconnaissance and found a potentially faster way to get here.
Well, motocross BMX over the crossing with no issues, and over and sold. 11:52 or roundabouts. That's a good time for that map. Of course.
You won't believe what Sharp Farmer is doing right now, FSG. He is over the axles, over the low loader. He is driving down the center of the river.
What?
And he's just popped up out of the side, and he drove probably for 200 or 300 meters down the river without any issues. I've never seen that.
I can see him running along the side of the river there, yeah.
Mm.
He's going in again.
He's just diving straight through. Oh, no. What a tactic. The amphibian Volvo.
So that, there's no way he's just chanced his arm with that. That's clearly something he's thought about, isn't it?
This opens up new options for other teams.
It really does. It really does. And look, there's an exit road here as well.
Yeah, so this is the route that Oblix took. He came across this crossing here when we followed him up in the first match. But look at that. He had the ramps down. I wonder if that helps with flotation.
Well, I think that would have pulled him back a good amount of time, right?
That certainly has. Certainly has.
Wow. Nice to see a little bit of creativity in the routes. Very good.
Well, Mark Thor's saying he think he took the wrong turn because he paused when he passed a left-hand turn, then took the next right into the river.
I thought, stop it. I'm going to go with this. Yeah.
He's following his GPS. His GPS machine said take your next turn left 100 meters. There we go. Stopping the clock at 13 minutes and 40.
Something.
Well, we haven't stopped the clock, but about 13 minutes 40.
Very good. Nice to see Sharp Farmer. Very good indeed.
Creativity.
Sharp,
like
yeah,
that.
Sharp. It's called Sharp Farmer for a reason. That's what FarmSim's saying in the chat. Yeah, razor sharp with that route.
Look at that. Well, we've said if it works in game, you can do it. I mean, if people are smart enough to try something like that, then we can't say it's not an option.
That is right. Because that's a risk to take, right? Isn't it? Because you could flood your engine and have to reset your vehicle. So he must have known that it was not so deep that he wasn't going to have that issue.
Yeah, certainly. 100%.
Very good.
All
Very
right,
good
well, there we
indeed.
are, done and dusted on that one. So we'll just wait for the scores to come through from Hamish.
Okay, we are good to go. So let's quickly go and have a look at the results. V1 results. So motocross and BMX there, again, both of them very close to maxing out their containers. So limited penalties. And it's gone with what we saw on the road there. So congratulations to motocross and BMX. Great run. And Sharp Farmer, loving your creative route to the sawmill. Very good.
It's some innovation. It's good to see. It's good to see. The last one was the bargain backup. Are we going to call that the Sharp Farmer float?
Yeah, something like that. We'll have to come up with a... Oh, very
a witty
good.
catch line. All right. Well, we're going to now jump out of servers and have a little bit of a switch over.
We are. So yeah, we'll log out. I'm going to jump over to server 2 and get organised for the next round of games.
So we've got one more team match to come, and 2 more solos. And the two solos are on the chaos courses, and we know what those can
love
dish up.
the chaos courses, don't we?
The chaos courses are great. Just harks back to where Logging League started from, which was a whole lot of that sort of fun.
Yeah. Cranky's just arrived. Evening, Cranky. Nice to see you.
Hey.
FarmSim says, do you know what? Saturday Night TV is nothing on this. Right, we're just loading up at the moment.
Hey, Green-Eyed Sims, welcome along. You're going to need a barge. That's not a bad idea, Dan. The old days when the lumberjacks used to float the trees down the river.
That's right.
We're going the other way. Just need a foghorn equipped. It's actually interesting, FSG. I posed the question in the Discord chat about where everyone was from, where we had players joining from, and just going back to have a look at that. At the moment, we've got Australia represented, Finland, the USA, France, Switzerland, the UK, Canada, Germany, Norway, Denmark, Sweden, and Spain.
That's
so
amazing, isn't it?
Pretty broad collection of players. It's awesome.
That's fantastic. Yeah, so this is technically the World Championships, what you're saying.
Well, technically, yeah, it covers pretty much the majority of continents.
Indeed.
And as it's the only competition running of its kind, then 100% is the World Championships.
Global tournament.
That's right.
We have to think about it in our PR chat when we're speaking to Thrustmaster, we'll have to say.
Yeah. Right.
The globally renowned Logging League tournament. So wait, can the winner of this call themselves the world champ? Technically, Tobias, they can. Yes.
Technically, indeed. I mean, technically the winner of a sports competition in the US, just because it has World Series, calls themselves the world champions too.
This is Logging Olympics.
No, esports at the Olympics. Could Logging League be the next one?
Yes. Right. I'm going to check which course we're on.
We are heading to stage 2, so the same one that we were on for the teams
in.
last time, I believe.
Just need to do my appropriate logging into admin and all of that. We're synced.
Oh, must remember to join the camera farm too. All right, so we'll take a look in just a sec at who we have joining us. There's no equipment in that farm, Hamish, so we're obviously not at stage 2. Must be at stage 1.
Stage 1, yeah. There we go. Stage 1.
Right, we are. Stage 1.
So, final team round of the evening, which will be the Pinnacle Loggers versus Pick a Pallet. So, Kegarino, Gaming with James, and Sharp Farmer, who've already had one run tonight against returning team Pick a Pallet, Akiki, Samu, Taru, and Muex. Again,
Right.
very, very accomplished team.
They are. They've been with us for a long time and have always been a tough competition. So, interesting to see how we go.
Oh, indeed. Oh, indeed. They're just getting organised, logging in, getting themselves into position, and we are good to go.
And we will be. I was just actually looking in the background. I can see Sharp Farmer's been into the phone booth, and Super Sharp Farmer has done his costume change again. He's backing up. This is his third match in a row.
That's right. Yeah, he's really working it this week.
Mm.
And those of you who weren't here at the start, one of the aims of tonight is to try and get everybody onto equal amounts of games as we move into the last two rounds. So you'll see certain players like Mr. Bargon, who stamped his authority on it so far and is leading the solos. He is skipping tonight as he was ahead on games of everybody else. So we should have a better idea of who is winning by the end of this round.
That's right. It just looks like we're getting another gear change here with the Pinnacle Logging having their wheel loader swapped out for the high lift. So got 2 high lifts and 2 Komatsu. So we've got pretty much identical equipment here. So this is going to come down purely to player versus player.
I love the fact that there is no respect for equipment. That no, you could return that other one to the shop, but no, we'll just abandon it in the trees forevermore.
Isn't it? I'm just it's gone. It's down there.
Yeah.
Imagine if we had a record of all the stuff that's been abandoned. All right. Do you want to head up to the trucks and follow?
I will indeed. Yes, I will head up to the top and we will watch from up there. So let me just jump up there. Watch the guys as they head down with the trucks. Robert Kelly, if I joined the competition, it would be the example of what not to do. Logging doesn't like me. I'll stick with watching Logging League. He's getting a lot of moral support for that as well. From everybody else.
Oh, I'll tell you what, watching some of these guys work, it does make you feel a little inadequate in your own abilities.
I'd swear I'm not looking forward to the exhibition match at the end of the year, because it isn't going to look anything like this.
Good fun. Good fun. So just the other thing that I'm just going to say as well, Astragon obviously not with us today. I've had a couple of rounds off because they managed to get quite a few games in early on. And I know a couple of them have been going through a few things. I've had a bit of time in hospital and wishing them all the best in their recoveries. Hope they are all well, and we're looking forward to having them back for round 5.
Well said, Ox. Well said. Right, Kegarino's
also,
here.
like to add, it's nothing to worry about from what I understand. It's sort of routine procedures, and it was all planned, so don't think anything serious has happened to them. Yeah, routine.
Good caveat.
Yeah.
Right, Kegarino is ready up here with his truck. I think he's. I think there's a little bit of machinery change here. So.
All right. Well, Samu was standing on the head of a Kiki, so I think we're all good to go down here with Sharp Farmer and Game with James as well.
Good stuff.
We'll be off in just a moment. In Hamish's capable hands to get them started.
Let's do it. Starters orders. Phew.
All right, the anticipation, waiting for that go, waiting for the timer to start and everyone to start jumping off their bales and running to their equipment. He's holding them. He's holding them.
I was going to his head.
And we're off. All right. It's interesting, actually. I hadn't thought of picked it up, FSG. We've got a little switch around on the Pinnacle Logging team. Sharp Farmer's up here running the processor, and Kikarino's on the truck.
Interesting,
which,
yeah.
Was the other way around last round.
That's right. So interesting up here, Taru sprinted to his truck, and Kegarino took a very casual jog up to his. So, and he's abandoned his truck a long way away from the container, actually. That is interesting.
So this is the course that caused us a few little hiccups last round with some competition up there, some fierce competition around the containers and getting things picked up and loaded. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this time around. But
yeah, they've parked literally parked as far away as possible from each other.
Some nice respect. First tree's down here. Now, the one thing I've noticed, and we've noticed on this course a lot, is to make it easier for the loaders, whether it's the grapple or the high lifts like we've got here, is that the trees really need to come all the way down onto the flat area. It is pretty difficult to pick them up on the slopes, so it'll be interesting to see how these guys all handle that.
Okay, the Roo is loading up at the moment. Kegarino's not far behind him. Kegarino's just realised, though, if he loads it that way, he's going to have his container the wrong way round. Now, Taru's the container's fallen off the low loader here for Taru.
All right, interesting.
So any advantage he had, he may have just lost. We've got some concertina-ing trucks here as well. It's almost like they're unhitching and rehitching themselves. We've got a little bit of a lag spike here. Oh, Taru's container has just gone absolutely flying. I think we've got a quite high ping at the moment on the server, and it's causing a few issues. Kegarino's got his container just about on. Taru's having to manhandle his back into position.
Yeah, we're just having a few issues. I'm noticing sort of something similar happening down here. Samu's been picking up logs and going and stacking them nice and neat. Game with James and Sharp Farmer just about tripped over their stack. But they are trying to get things all tidied up and organised down here so that when the trucks and containers do arrive, they're ready to go. Because with both teams running the high lift, I reckon a couple of good grabs and you can have your container full.
So up here, Args, definitely a team tactic, but I see Kegarino running the river. He's gone down the river route again with the truck.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
So
I wonder if that's something they'd rehearsed or whether that came out of accidental decision by Sharp Farmer last round.
That's right. So
it feels like a rehearsed thing.
Yeah, Taru is taking the normal route down the road, but you're gonna see Kegarino pretty quickly, I think.
So I'm just going to pan away just for a second and see if I can find where he's coming. There, I can see him now coming down from the bottom. I'm just looking at the course. Yeah, he is going to be here very soon. I wonder if it's a decision as well because they are on this side of the map that they don't have to then get in the way of the other guys to negotiate their part of the course. But I can see Kegarino is coming up the other side, and he's not too far away from being here.
Yep. Taru's still on the main road here.
So the flying containers didn't prove to be too much of an issue then in the end?
They didn't. He had to go and get it, so I think he's lost a bit of time there, but he's just straight lining it across the tracks here onto the dirt track. He'll be with us very soon as well. So, yeah, I'm interested to see what... they've definitely made further time ahead now. Taru was behind anyway, but Taru's crashed! Taru's crashed! Oh, he's crashed into the stream. He could be very stuck here if he's not careful.
Alright, well, Kegarino's just arrived, and I must admit that the Pinnacle Loggers site organisation, site management, isn't anywhere near as neat as the other team. And Kegarino's actually, I think he's stuck. I think he's stuck on one of the logs that they'd left in the middle.
It's always a risk, isn't it? Because these trucks, they're hard to unpick if you get them stuck on those logs.
Yeah, he's got his whole semi. There's a log pretty much from almost his steering axle. Goes right underneath the two drive axles. He looks like he might have got himself free, but not without losing a little bit of time and messing up their stack of logs down here.
Here comes Taru entering from the other side.
All right. And you should see the pile of logs that Samu has sitting in his in his grapple ready to go, while these other guys, while they had an advantage getting here soon, their site management's let them down.
My word. So here is Taru straight in. Now, both of them, their containers are slightly off-center, shall we say, on the low loader, but hey, if it fits, it ships, right?
That's the one. That's the one. Right. Well, so they're pretty much both loading in at exactly the same time. Game with James did manage to get the first ones in, but look at that stack. Samu has that. They must just about be going to half fill that container. Surely.
Yep. Well, virtually, well, we are on identical equipment here as well, so there's no no advantage or disadvantage.
The only thing that Samu hasn't done is sort of turn that grapple around a full 90 degrees and just driven straight into the back of the container, which is, I think, where the real benefit of this high lift is. But
they are
like
three quarters full already.
And look at how neat their pile is for the next one.
Exactly. And look, Taru has also positioned himself to head out. They know that if they get these in, they're done. I think we've just seen the fastest load ever.
And that was Samu spent a lot of time down here while waiting for the truck, getting his load of logs all organised. It was all nice and neat, well aligned. And then he picked it up once he knew he had enough to grab a full grapple. And those other ones sitting there, he just picked them up and he was sitting here waiting for Taru.
There we go. He's taking his time. They know they're ahead now, so he's not rushing this. He's making sure they get them aligned up and loaded up. Okay. I think, yep, they're done, they're away. There is no more going in that container.
Alright, well, Game with James is not too far away, behind. Someone's just paused. They're waiting to get the container door closed.
I think they're caught on the fence. No, they're caught on the fence, Args.
Ah, okay.
They're away now. I'm going to follow Taru back. That was ridiculously fast loading.
Oh, the power of the high lift. Two grabs, 2 grapples. Gaming with James isn't too far behind, but again, it's just come down to where they've had their logs and just a little bit of coordination.
Samu was loading with 3,000 ping.
Whoa.
Which makes it even more impressive.
Alright, what I'm intrigued with here, I reckon if Game with James can get this container filled with this load, it looks like he's going to. Sharp Farmer's there ready to close things up. They just need to get that in there. I want to see if this river strat is going to pay off for them. Oh, he's missed one log.
Taru's playing it easy here. He is playing it easy. He's done the sensible thing. He's headed out by the shop and onto the road that way. He's taken no risks. He knows he's ahead. And he is just taking his time, and this is a very smooth, well-calculated run, I've got to say.
Alright, well, Kikarino's container's full, but he's got a log strapped on, which is causing him issues. They can't get it off without it unstrapped. There we go. He's off. He needs to strap his container back on. He's trailing a log behind him, but he is going. And he's heading down this way to potentially use the river. We'll see in a sec. He's actually picked a route where he can turn here at this building and avoid the rock. Oh, it's tight, but he's got around. And we're heading down towards the river.
Ooh, we nearly had an incident there with a car pulling out on Taru. Wouldn't have been for the first time. But he got away with it this time. Tell me where they are, Args. We're just going past G-Port and Thrustmaster here.
I think you've got the lead. Kugarino's not quite down to the river yet. He's just heading down, and he'll be popping into it in a short while, I think.
Don't think we've got any train issues here. Can't see it at the moment.
He's just swinging down by the paper mill, and he's hopped into the river. So they are travelling down the middle of the river, and he's going to come out at the sawmill. So.
And Taru crossing now. That's a 9:45 game, Margs. Our first sub 10-minute game. Certainly is our first sub 10-minute on this course.
I think on the net course, yeah. We haven't actually kept a proper record of what times people have been doing, so it might be interesting to go back and review some of the games and see what we've ended up at. But Kegs definitely made up a lot of time.
Yes,
going through that river strip.
Yeah, they definitely have. That is a stroke of genius from them, picking that route out, and like you said, Args, definitely calculated.
Just a little bit better site management, and not having a team that could load as quickly as they did. Then I think it would have been completely different. But they're stopping the clock at 10 minutes 28, so another speedy effort from them too.
Great game, guys. That was good fun. That one, enjoyed that.
It was good. It was very enjoyable.
Even with horrible ping on the server.
Yeah. All right. Well, that just goes to show, we talked before about where everyone comes from, where we've got representation from. The servers are hosted in West US to try and give a sort of central position between everyone. But
yep, I think we're just unfortunate with the connection there.
But even so, I mean, we've talked about it before as well with the, you and I did the stream on the Gauliel DLC, which you hosted in the UK, and I connected to that. I was sub 200 ping going through to your home internet, and it worked out fine.
It did work very well, didn't it?
Yeah. But thank you for giving me access to your home internet. Your banking passwords are safe with me.
I did wonder why I was always running out of money.
No, that's Mrs. FSG, not me.
Oh, it's a good job she's not watching us.
She'll beat me up when I get there.
Rescinding the summer invite, yeah.
That's right. Right. I'm just waiting for the scores to come through. I've been pretty fast, so we'll just wait for Hamish to say that.
Indeed. That was a good course. That was a good run. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, all right, we've got an okay there, so let's have a look what we're seeing on the scoreboard. There we go, $3 difference in the sales, so not much of a penalty there at all. So as it finished on the course is how it finishes there on the scoreboard. 9 minutes 46 from Picker Pallet, and Pinnacle Logging coming in there at 10:28 in position number 2. So I am actually, after discussing that about the times, I'm intrigued to go back and have a look and compare times across the rounds and do a little bit of a spreadsheet on our fastest times, because it'll be interesting to see.
It's a good call. Maybe there's an end of season prize for the fastest times on the course or something.
Maybe.
We'll have to think of something, won't we?
Maybe. Yeah, absolutely.
Very good indeed. Okay, right, we'll just reset here. We've got 2 solo rounds now through 1v1v1s, and we are going to be on the Chaos courses, which always brings some fun. The Super Chaos course and the original.
So I think we're heading to the original Chaos course first, back down at the shop.
Excellent. Paco Rodriguez, hi from Spain. Welcome. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, a lot of people pop in. Bovines in here. Peter Clark, nice to see you as well. Paul Wright said good morning earlier. So good morning to you, Paul. Going through some sync as the players all join in. But if we're down here, we've got the original Chaos course. Tobias versus Modern Logging versus Farming Alex.
Should be a good one.
Should be a good one. So this is actually Farming Alex's first entry into the solos. So
that's right.
To see
he's been playing on one of the teams for the last 2, but he's giving it a go on his own today.
That's right.
A long sync here. Go back from looking at the results of that one, and so Args, this is
yes.
You were laughing. Sorry,
I was just reading the message from Farmer Hamish saying Kigarino had super speed enabled.
Oh, right.
So that was probably why he was only going slowly to get to the truck, because if he sprinted, he would have been using the
lightning fast. Yeah,
he would have been. Yeah, I know we're finished with Kigarino, but just want to remind people, if you don't know, he actually plays using a mouthpiece. There's a issue with his muscles. I can't remember the name of the condition he has exactly, but if you haven't seen him, he streams occasionally and has a camera which shows you exactly what he's doing to control his equipment. It's pretty impressive to watch.
Oh, it's amazing. It really is.
Take that into account. He's competing with fully able-bodied people here with no drummers at all. So
exactly,
huge respect for him. Huge respect for him, and huge respect as well for FarmSim and that, and people like Thrustmaster who make equipment that makes everyone makes gaming accessible for everyone.
That's right. Yeah, no, it's very admirable. So here we are down. Let's have a look at equipment here, Args.
Yes.
So no high lifts. We've got 2 grapples. We've got front loader. In terms of interesting, we have got. I think it's the first time we've seen the Ponce harvester.
It is. Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. Farmer Hamish did give us a heads up to say, keep an eye out. There's an original piece of equipment being used rather than any of the DLC, and there we have it. So interesting to see what the decision behind that is. And I'm just actually going to have a look in the shop here. Take a quick look at the forestry machine.
Sorry, Cranky. Cranky's like, why am I looking at you two? I want to see the kit. Makes a valid point.
Hey, I am the kit.
Yeah.
So that Ponzi Cobra runs a 64 centimeter cutting width and at 12 miles per hour. Compare that to the Komatsu, which runs up at 70 centimeters. So it's speed's the same, but it doesn't cut quite so big. So whether that could be a issue coming to looking at tree size.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's actually an interesting point because the Rotney actually does up to an 80 centimeter cut, which I think through is the largest of the lot.
Yeah. Okay. Looks like we're in position. Everybody's on the bales.
Even the Volvo excavator with the cutter is only a 70 centimeter cut. So.
Ah, right. Okay. The Komatsu for size is a good call.
Yeah. I think the Ponzi, not the Ponzi, the Rotney would still be the best. If I was playing, that'd be my choice, but I'm not.
So it's not.
So it doesn't matter what my choice is. That was my Ted Kravitz technical piece, by the way.
That was good. I like that.
Earlier. Yeah.
I like that. It was very good.
All right. Well, everyone seems to be lined up on their pink bales there, ready to go under Farmer Hamish's starter's orders. Train went through about a minute ago, so that's not going to be an issue in the early part of this match.
It's not.
Hang on. Cannibal Alex made a speedy run there, and as we might have expected, he is straight into that Ponzi piece of equipment. Being the new player, it was only appropriate it would be his that was the new bit, but modern logging, he made the getaway the fastest.
Oh, Alex just clipping Tobias on the way through there. I don't think it was intentional.
No. Alex may not know that there's no collisions on the fence, but of course did still have to make his way around the chaos course side.
That's right. No, interestingly,
James is hanging out and spectating as well.
Tobias and modern logging are going for trees very close to each other here. It's one of the challenges with this course, isn't it? You can quickly run out of trees if you start in the wrong place.
Yeah. Oh, and Cannibal Alex, he cut his tree and then actually started cutting it to length before it had fallen down and climbed 6 meters up it. But he's not got that down and in a position where he can start trimming it to length. He's got a good big sized tree here to start with.
Yeah, modern logging's just downed a very big tree as well, which he's getting organised with. Now, where's Tobias going to go? These two are going to start fighting over trees in a minute if they're not careful.
Well, we've seen it before. We've seen 2 people going for the same tree down in that same neck of the woods. So it's not out of the question. I think Cannibal Alex has certainly made the wise choice to head up the road and to go and find some trees. He's been pretty selective. He is driving straight past a number of trees and he's gone straight in to grab what is one of the tallest trees in the area.
Interesting. I wonder if he's been doing a bit of homework.
Possibly running around with a spray can and marking the trees that he wants to cut down.
Yeah.
Interestingly, just talking about that, there was actually one of the options we had discussed around this was actually to colour code trees and mark them to say who got what, but decided to keep it chaotic.
Yeah. Now Tobias has got a bit of an issue here. He couldn't get his tree pulled out. It was wrapped around other trees, so he couldn't twist it into the position he wanted it in to add it to his log pile. So he's had to kind of think on his feet a little bit here.
Right.
Modern logging got a rather nice pile now.
Gosh, I've been talking for too long, FSG. Horse throat. Alex had a few issues as well. He sort of cut the tree down but hadn't twisted his processing head out of the way, and it sort of started feeding back on himself. But
yeah.
Interestingly, he is off engraving his truck. He's only cut down 2 trees, but he's going to go and get his... what's he running for? The Volvo wheel loader.
Okay. I think modern logging's maybe... Can't work out whether he's got 3 or 4 trees. Modern logging's certainly probably got the biggest pile of trees so far.
Hmm.
Whether or not
Train
he's
just
going
almost went
to...
past.
He's going for more, though. I thought he maybe would stop there and start loading, but he's going for another one.
Well, we've seen how quickly he loads with that grapple.
Yes.
So he's certainly got a great pile of trees there to be able to park up next to and just swing them into the back of the truck.
Tobias will be frustrated. He just had a little bit of an issue with that earlier tree, which has maybe just thrown him off his pace a little bit. Hopefully he'll be able to pull it back. I think in an ideal world as well, he was hoping that modern logging wouldn't be as close as he was to him. I think he maybe took some of the trees that he'd maybe earmarked for himself as well.
Yeah, and that is the risk on this course. Alex has got his truck and everything down here. He is sort of blocking the path a little bit, but he is the furthest one away, so hopefully that's not going to cause any issues as we move through the race.
Well, modern logging stripping down a small tree there to get to a bigger one. He's just cut it, stripped it, and ditched it. He's not even brought it out, so... Better than trying to get a tree past it, because they can be a pain. That was the issue that Tobias had.
So Alex has made work hard for himself down here. He's sort of parked his truck right next to where he was trying to pick his logs up from, and he's got very little manoeuvring space, but we'll let him get going there. He's hopefully going to see something loaded very soon.
So interestingly, modern logging is still going here. Looking at modern logging's pile of trees, I wouldn't be surprised if he's definitely got a container load there, but I think he sees it differently, so he's trying to get another tree out from the woods, which he's got caught around other trees here, but he's managed to manoeuvre it out of the way, which is good. Don't bash your clean pile up and make a mess of it. There we go.
I wonder if he's sort of reacting to Tobias a little bit here. He's seen Tobias hasn't gone and started loading or anything yet, seen the size of the pile he has and realises he's got a little bit more time and can take some more liberty in making sure he does have enough trees cut down.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a different story if he'd seen Tobias had gone and started loading things up, but look, he's going even deeper and getting another one.
Yeah. So interestingly, Cranky's just highlighted that he thinks modern logging may have cut down a dead tree. Which could have ramifications at the end of the day with the scores.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. I wonder if we can pick that out based on the shade of the bark on the tree. I think that is, I'm just looking in here, is that the darker wood? Not sure. Well, if we're going off who's got the most logs in the container right now, Cannibal Alex is in the lead, but he has not cut down anywhere near as many trees as the others, so...
Yeah, he's going to have to go back for more. Right, surely modern logging is done here. Surely, yes. He's out. He's out and he's heading over to... What's he going to do? Is he going to go for his grapple or is he going to go for his truck first? He's going for his grapple.
Wise choice, I think. Go and get that into position and then he can park his truck where he needs that. If he gets the grapple in the spot where he can reach his whole load, then he knows where he needs to park his truck.
I'm just checking up the tracks to make sure there isn't a train coming. And looks like we're clear at the moment.
I was looking exactly the same way. So Tobias has certainly been boxed into a corner. For him to go and grab any more trees after this one he's cutting now is a long way to go.
Yeah, I think there's enough there for a container as well. He's got some big trees in there.
Yeah, and he's out. He's off. Modern Logging's in his truck, and Tobias is in his grapple.
Other than a couple more logs on the floor, Cannibal Alex is going to be needing some more trees after he's loaded these two in.
I'm just going to make a reference of time there, FSG. 7 minutes 30 on the timer as Modern Logging's jumping into his excavator. Let's just keep an eye on that and how quickly he can load this container, because we saw it in the first round, how quickly he got the truck loaded up and really pulled things back for his team.
Yes. He is fast. So he gets into his rhythm, he is quick. Well, he's dropped his first log there.
Maybe not quite in the right position for him. He's sort of having to spin around and then stretch the arm out to get it put in rather than on the angle.
That's right, yeah, he could do with maybe being just ever so slightly, maybe closer with the container.
We've just got the train coming along too, so that's just on 8 minutes. So we'll be 13 minutes before it is back here to cause any issues. But this is looking pretty chaotic right here at the moment. Just looking across from Tobias all the way across to Cannibal Alex. There is equipment strewn everywhere. There's logs strewn everywhere, and there's actually no clear winner at the moment. No clear leader.
There really isn't. Tobias has just thrown a really large load into his container. He's pretty handy with that grapple as well.
We should have taken a time check on his loading speed and had a look to see between these two, using the same equipment, who was able to get that thrown in there quickest. Yeah, Cannibal Alex looks like he's cut another tree and getting that, about to get that picked up and put in.
Very good. Yeah, Tobias and Modern Logging both into their rhythm now of loading. They're both moving at pace, and neck they are.
Certainly is, actually. This could shape up to be our closest match yet. Neither of them have positioned their truck in a way that's a quick escape either out of the arena and on the way down to the sell point, so interesting to see how it all plays out. I think they are both pretty much at the same level now that Cannibal Alex had got to, so
yeah, this is really level pegging. I mean, literally log for log they're going in. Maybe 1 or 2 logs in it, and that is it.
I'll look at the log. Modern Logging's got 5 in one grab there. Can he get them all in? He's got 3 of them. He's had to drop the 2, but quickly put them down, quickly recovered. And
honestly, they are exactly the same amount.
It is. It is.
If you look at the pattern of the logs in the back of the container, they're identical.
I think Tobias is just that one log in front at the moment.
Yeah, he's got 2 very big logs to go in here, though. This could be a winning
just reflect
move,
though. He doesn't have enough wood to fill up, does he?
He does. He's got another log down the other side, hidden down the side of the container.
Ah, I see. Yes, next to the truck. Right. Oh, he will then. And I think he's just taking the advantage because Modern Logging struggled with that one.
He's just doing a full 360 with that log. Very impressive. He's got space for a few more though. He's going for these ones that are down by the side of the truck.
Well, Cannibal Alex has just backed into Modern Logging's truck and just bumped it only so slightly, but it would have been enough to reposition it to maybe put Modern Logging off, but he's reacted and recovered.
So Modern Logging's got nothing really close here. Yeah, he's had to move to get his... Oh, Tobias is maybe... He's 1 or 2 logs away.
I think Modern Logging might do it with that one.
Still super close. I think Tobias has actually measured this to perfection. If this fills his... I think Tobias may have measured his to perfection here. This is
Modern Logging's just making sure his is full, because he looks full, but he's just going to see if it will take any of these logs. Tobias is out. He's shutting the door, and I think we'll see Modern Logging out and shutting the door as well. They're both going to run down the road at the same time.
Tobias is done. He's trying to shut the doors of his... Yep. Oh goodness, there's 5 seconds between them. Now Modern Logging is a little bit more stuck.
Route out. Oh. We're about a minute away from the train as well. The train could come into play up at the other end of the map.
Oh, Modern Logging could have cut through the trees there and headed off.
He could have. He could have. And I wonder if the deadwood, that if he did cut some down, is going to play against him here. But sorry, Cannonboy Alex. We'll come back to you, but this is pretty exciting seeing these two run down here pretty close.
There is not much in it at all. Wait and see if I can get them both in the same shot.
That the wood selection and any potential profit. I don't know if the trees that Tobias had were really of the best quality. So whether he has any penalties because of that, whether there's any penalties coming through because of deadwood or anything like that for modern logging.
That's
we'll
right.
have to find out. This is getting pretty tense. The train is just going past where Tobias is FSG, so that's not going to be an issue.
Okay. Oh, modern logging has hit a car.
Oh no!
I think that's it now for him. That's really thrown a spanner in the works. Let me just try and get up here before
Tobias has swung in on the crossing. He's just about clipped a log and rolled, but he kept it on the ground, and he's straight through into the sell point, and his container is going to disappear, and he's got that sold.
13 minutes 10. Modern logging not far behind now. It's going to be interesting actually to see if modern logging has got any penalties. If he did indeed pick up a deadwood tree.
Correct me if I'm wrong though, there is also different quality of trees, or does that just affect the volume of the wood that goes into the container? Is it only deadwood which affects profit?
It's a good question. I don't know if there's certain values to the certain tree types.
Right.
See if anybody...
So we go, what was that? 30 minutes 40, so about 30 seconds difference. What
well played, boys. That was a great game. Lovely tight game, that. Enjoyed that.
Let's head back down and see how Alex is getting on with getting his finished off and loaded up. He probably had a moment there where he thought, gosh, I'm the first one to get some logs in the truck. I'm in for a chance here.
Yeah, and then the consistent skills or the kind of experience of doing it before. There you go, Tobias saying in the chat the course is really tricky with getting good trees. So even Tobias doesn't know if he's got any penalties yet.
Kikarinu is saying that ideal load is 3 ponderosa or 4 lodge poles. All I know is you don't want spruce.
Interesting.
And Farmer Hamish is calling it in Discord saying this will be a photo finish, so he thinks there could be some penalties coming through. And in fact, he would have seen the value between the two already. So there's a little bit of inside information there. It's going to be closer than it looked like on the road by the sounds of things.
Alex still working with a pile of trees there to try and get them in.
Ooh. Is he trying to close his door?
Alex has decided.
He's wrapping things up. He wants to just get finished. Fair enough.
Cool, though. Well, fair play, Alex.
Oh,
he's got himself caught in a tree now. What a pain, those little trees.
They are.
They're pretty sturdy.
I'm surprised actually more people don't try and sneak through the way he's trying to get.
Yeah.
To be honest.
There is merit in almost parking your truck on the road, actually, and if you angled it right, that would be straight out of there.
Yeah, that's right. You could get out there very quickly.
These trailers are so long, though, that you're very easy to get caught on things.
Absolutely.
As we've seen.
More than once.
Even
the
stuck on the crossing now.
Train crossing. He's clear. Oh.
Jackknifed it.
Spinning around. It's easy things to do if you get just a little bit of lag at the wrong time as you're turning, or just overturn. He's going to go straight into that car, though. I don't know which way he's looking now. I think he's just doing this for entertainment. There's a band's going to pull out in front of him.
Yeah.
Yep. What a rude introduction to the world of solo logging league.
I tell you, those cars at that junction are ruthless. I think that's the one that Teru had to run in with a few. Oh, he's the jumped. Oh, Alex.
goodness. I think it's the pressure of having so many people
I know,
following me.
right?
He's got Tobias is floating around, gaming with James, and observing as well. Kigarino has thrown in a suggestion. Personally, I'd love to see a game where you can only cut small trees. Can you imagine that if we planted an area with only shorter poles that needed a whole lot of them loaded?
Well, maybe you should introduce something different for the final. A bit of a curveball in, so the guys that have had all the practice through the season don't get to practice. Yeah, yeah. There we go. Well played, Alex. Well played. Train coming too.
Oh, that would have been just the deal.
Oh.
He couldn't hit the train,
Traffic
so he
again.
decided to hit the van.
Traffic again. Bomada, how are you doing?
Alex.
Nice to see you.
Bonderman Hunson's saying that he drives like I do. Grateful for that vote of confidence.
go.
But there we go.
Well done, Alex. Good job, mate.
Well, I'm sitting here in anticipation, FSG. I don't know about you, but seeing these scores,
I know. I'm excited. I'm excited. I am excited.
I wonder where it's all going to end up. And you thought that was chaotic. We're heading off to the Super Chaos course next, which is
Super Chaos course is
more interesting.
I think the hardest one of the lot.
I can vouch for that, having had a match on it.
That's right. So we're just waiting for Hamish to give us the nod that he's...
Got those scores updated, and we'll be ready to have a look at it. See where we go. Looks like he's typing in chat, so let's just anticipate the solo score.
All the anticipation, and he's like, nah, it's not that close.
No, it's not photo finish.
Let us have a look.
So unfortunately, Tobias did take a huge penalty there.
Yeah,
$3,000.
So again, he did say he called that in the chat. Actually, didn't he? He said it's hard to find.
He did.
Quality trees.
He did. And that's, I suppose, Mark Thor was saying in my chat as well, just shows how you sort of have a plan B and even a plan C. So, you've got to, I guess, adapt and react to what your opponents are doing. You either, lay on your sword and die on your sword, or you move somewhere else and try and get some better wood. But I think he was a little bit disadvantaged having the Volvo processing unit as well, because it's so slow to move to somewhere else.
It is. But interestingly, modern logging was only 19,000 in value as well. So he obviously didn't have some quality trees in there either.
That's actually a good point as well. Yeah, because we've seen $22,000 is about a full load, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
And actually, Farming Alex, who closed the doors with probably only a 2/3 full container, is almost the same as Tobias. So
that's right. Actually, yeah. No, they were very close in the end.
So it does show the penalty for your timber selection. So
that's right.
Well, it was exciting anyhow. It was exciting to watch and exciting to see those two, Modern Logging and Tobias, pretty much loading a container log for log. It's pretty impressive. It
was great, wasn't it? From that perspective. Right. I have headed up to the Super Chaos course. Game with James and Samu already here and raring to go.
Is that right? And Alex just to join then?
That's right. Poor Alex needs to lie down after that round he's just had.
Oh, I wonder if he'll adjust his playstyle and his methods going into this one after seeing that.
Yeah, I mean, you can vouch. You've been on this course, haven't you, Args? It's a difficult course, this one.
It is, and especially as Mark says, you've got to have a plan B or a plan C depending on what your opposition do. You either react to them and move, or you battle and make do with what you've got.
That's right. Yeah, read the play. I think it's better to have a bit more space around you and not be too close to other people.
That's right. Be agile. Looks like we've got another piece of just completely discarded equipment sitting in the trees on this map. This, of course, it just seems the half of the day.
Yeah. Actually, your piece of equipment, that's what you would have chosen, isn't it, Args?
It is what I would have chosen. Perhaps just in case someone didn't turn up, Farmer Hamish had it all set for me to tab in.
That's right. Right, looks like we're ready to go. under Hamish's starter's orders.
Indeed. So I'm going with James and Farming Alex here. So I already know what piece of equipment Cannibal Alex will be taking, so that leaves the matching Komatsus for Samu and Alex. Samu and James.
Yep.
And you'll be pleased to see that there's a high lift over in the loading area.
Delighted to see that, Args. Right, we've got a mixture and down here. Everybody's gone for a different loading mechanism here.
There is a real variety.
Very good.
All right, Hamish is going to call go any moment now, I'm sure.
Cannibal Alex jumping up and down with excitement. And we're off.
We are off. Mark's saying we should use the drone mod. The drone mod's PC only though, Mark. It just doesn't fit with our trying to make it as accessible for everyone. Although at the moment we do only have PC players.
Yeah. Now look where Gaming with James has gone. He's the first person I've seen do that. And Cannibal Alex has gone down south. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen where Game with James went, but yeah, Cannibal Alex has gone really way down south.
Right
There's
on the edge of the cliff.
Down here.
There is. Right on the edge of the cliff though, so you've got to pull them backwards or they could pull your harvester off the edge of the cliff. Good call though. Everybody's found themselves a bit of space. I think they've learnt from previous rounds.
So the only thing we've commented before is how hard it is to pick up logs if you've got a grapple or something on the side of a hill.
Yeah.
And potentially with the steepness on the side of this hill, how hard it might be to pull a truck back up there.
Oh, this is interesting. I thought Samu would have gone for that other tree first, because he's got... Yeah. He's actually cutting around a tree. Surely he's going to go for that tree next. Unless that's a dead... No, it's not a dead tree.
It's not a dead wood, I think it's just the size, is it? He's decided he wants to cut the big stuff down first.
Yeah, he's maximising the big trees. Oh, he's going for it now.
Okay.
Again with James here. Onto his second tree. About to send that through the windscreen of his...
Oh, it's just flicking everywhere. I can see it in the background. Logs went everywhere.
They actually landed pretty nicely, actually. He lucked in a bit there, although he's blocking the road with them. I'm sure he'll sort that before we get to the point where everybody's leaving. How's Alex doing down here?
Cannibal, he's getting some very nice neat piles sorted this time. He did almost run over them with his processing unit, but he's looking alright. He has left the two tips of the trees in though.
Yeah, so. I saw that.
And he's making the same tactic he did last time, which is to go and grab his loader, grab his truck, after only cutting down the two trees. So, it's interesting. You know, how many times we've talked about it today. Cut down all the trees.
Yeah.
But perhaps he's just more comfortable having them around there.
Samu's got his tree stuck around other trees again here.
I just saw Game with James had exactly the same issue in the background as well. He sort of tried to drag it down past the tree, which is one of the dead woods, and it kind of flicked it around. Kind of naughty. He had to have a second go at it.
I suppose that's the challenge with selecting specific trees, isn't it? You're going to have to get them out of sometimes potentially difficult places.
That's right. And we saw modern logging, cut down that small tree just to get it out of the way last time, didn't
That's
we?
right, yeah.
Alex almost looks like he's using his processing unit, his harvester, as a bit of a backstop so he can push up against it. But I think he is just finding out how difficult it is to use these loaders on the side of a hill.
Yeah, I think the experience of Samu and Game with James here showing that they've kept their logs as close to the road as they can on the flatter surface.
It's very easy when you're using a wheel loader to put the grapple or forks or anything down too low and you actually lose a lot of the control of your vehicle.
Yeah.
And I think that's just what Alex is experiencing right at the minute. There we go. He's got himself a decent load though. He's picked that
has.
up. He's going to go and grab his truck now. So we'll see how he pulleys out. See how it goes. The others are still busy beavering away, getting their trees cut down.
I'm going to head down and check on Gaming with James. He is a long way down here now. He is... He's got
Someone's out. He's off to get his truck.
Oh wow, Gaming with James has logs all over the place. He was talking about site management. That has gone out of the window with James. He's, I think with his exploding pile before, I think it's really made a mess of things.
Well, fingers crossed it doesn't come into play in terms of obstructing one of his competitors, but...
That's right.
Cannonballs. Alex has parked his truck off very neatly off the side of the map. You just have to see. Maybe Samu does that as well. They don't have much space up here for that. This is going to be interesting to see where is James going to put his truck when it comes time to.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting, isn't it? It's a difficult one to gauge because of how tight the space is.
I think Samu's probably parked as far off as we could expect him to. He does leave enough space there for James to get past. So.
Yes, he's tried, definitely. Definitely. That's a lovely load he's picked up straight away there.
That's magical. Cannibal Alex has actually just got a good grapple into the back of his container as well. But look at Samu.
James is respectfully, I think, moving his logs off the road now before he's gone to get his truck.
Well, I think he has to give himself some space to park his truck, doesn't he?
Well, that too, yeah.
Short of driving in and nosing it all the way up the hill to get it out of the way, I don't think he's got much choice.
I think he might be sorting his piles out so that when he does come down, he can get some better loads into his container as quickly as possible.
A good idea as well.
I'm not sure if Samu's got enough to fill his container as well.
He's still got quite a few up here a little bit further, just behind his processing units. There are good 2 trees there.
There is.
You might be right though.
There's some pretty big trees actually, so maybe I'm wrong. Making sure he gets every last one as well. No, that's the end of a tree. He doesn't want to take that. He's just realised that and dropped it.
Yeah, Alex has done the same actually. He's picked out the tips of the tree actually quite well. I thought he was going to take it. Well, here's the point of test. Can James get through there without... Oh, and Samu's backing up. We're going to get into a real pickle right this second.
We are. Samu was reversing to get to these loads, but respectfully, he is moving forward again to allow James through. Nice sportsmanship there. Nice to see.
Yep, well done.
Oh, James has to reverse, yeah.
Gone nose up into the trees.
That's difficult. He's going to get himself stuck if he's not careful, because that is a long trailer with not much flexibility in it.
No, and he's left himself a difficult angle when it comes time to exit the arena and head down to the cell point to actually head out.
Yeah, he really is struggling with space to be able to manoeuvre that truck, but he's doing a good job of it.
That's not too bad there now. I think it's probably a good spot.
Meanwhile, Samu is just quietly loading up here. I would say he's in the plum position at the moment.
Alex has actually made a good decision. He's come back up the hill and he's cutting some trees on a flatter bit of ground. So that will work a little bit better for him in terms of access. So if he can grab a couple more out of those, he won't be too far behind. Someone's just repositioning his truck to give a better position to swing that in. And Gaming with James has got the first of his logs in his grapple and he's getting those put into the back of the truck as well.
It's really tight up here, isn't it? Jeez.
What interests me is every match, and I mean it's part of the beauty of these courses, every match has been different. While the pre-created courses are fantastic for creating things equal, these courses are fantastic for having completely different matches every time.
That's right, that's right.
Game with James has got his first grapple load out of the high lift. Samu's just racing through, picking up his logs and getting them into the back of the container. And Alex is busy beavering away, getting more of them cut down.
Samu's missed one of those logs there, sitting across the bottom of the container. I don't think it's going to cause him too many issues in the short term, though.
Trying to see how Cannibal Alex goes with getting these logs picked up, because he's kind of left them in a position he has to almost get them all to be able to then go and put them into the back of the truck. And he's just going to barrel straight over top of them and try and manoeuvre his way in. Losing some on the way.
Samu had a bit of an issue there with a tree stump. He was having to navigate.
I'm not quite sure what Alex's plan here is. I think he's going to try and back up, but he really hasn't done himself any deal or any favours there with where he's positioned things.
Now his truck is kind of in Samu's way. He's having to lift the grapple over the top of Alex's truck. But he's not a million miles away from being full here. I think a couple more loads. He's certainly got enough logs. He's just got to make sure that he gets them in. He's probably in the best position here. He's not rushing.
Absolutely.
Just going to check how far along Gaming with James is here, because he has got the high lift.
Got time on squad.
Right, Gaming with James is actually, of all three of them, got the least amount in his container at the moment. So I think Samu's plumb in the lead here.
Well, Alex had done a great job of getting these trees into a good spot, good level spot to be able to pick up, but then I think he's done himself a disservice by trying to pick them up and drive over them, and now he's got a bit of a mess and kind of pick up sticks down here. Again,
a bit of a challenge, I think, with that wheel loader. If you do get a messy pile of logs, it's very hard to group them back up, whereas if you've got, say, the grapple, you can pick them up individually and keep loading at a relatively fast pace, can't you?
That's right, you can recover from that a little bit easier. I can 100% agree with you there, Kigarino. It's just very hard to keep yourself calm. Yeah, the match I played when DJ was here, my heart rate was through the roof, and it was a pretty stressful time. But Samu's closing his container, FSG, and he's heading away and out of here. I think he should be moving that loader though, and should be getting that grapple out of the way.
Yeah, is he going to get past? He's just about got past there, yep. He is
clearing his away.
This is going to be a fast time for this course as well. This is renowned for being quite a slow course, isn't it? But he's out of here.
It is. 20 minutes isn't out of the question on this course.
Yeah. Oh, he's gone straight into a tree though. Samu said he was struggling a bit with lag before, so maybe he's got the old issue with lag still, but he's taking his time.
His presentation of his loading there certainly didn't reflect that though.
No, it did not. You're right.
Sometimes you just got to stop, breathe, and reset yourself. It's a good word of advice there coming from Kigarino. Now one of our more seasoned competitors.
That's right, yeah. Samu crossing the bridge here. A little bit of AI traffic around him, which he needs to navigate. Doing pretty well. Oh, he's staying to the main road though. He's not dropped down the dirt road to the side, so he's going over the second bridge here. He's going to take the long route round, so he's just playing it cautious, knowing he's got a good decision, I think. Knowing he's got a decent head lead.
Very good decision, I think, at this stage of the race.
Yep.
I mean, he doesn't know it, but these guys are still busy cutting down trees and not even being close to having enough logs to have a full container load. So,
yeah. Okay, he's coming up past the gas station. A convincing lead now.
It is.
He's
Very
gunning along,
methodical, I
flashing his
would say,
lights.
his match.
It was well thought out, wasn't it?
Yep. Cut down enough trees. He didn't have to jump back into his processing unit. It was a neatly stacked pile. Some smooth loading with the grapple, and he's just he's really raced away with it.
Yeah. Okay, he's going to the top entrance. Seen a lot more people going to the top entrance this round, Args.
We have noticed that.
And he is sold at 14:40. That is a good time for that course. Wow, we've seen some fast times tonight, haven't we?
Mm. All right, so Alex has just got a couple of trees cut down and going to get those loaded. I'm just spinning around here. Game with James still doesn't have enough trees on the ground to get a full load. He's going to have to cut another ones from somewhere. Just having a look around to see what he's got as options. There's not a huge amount for him to choose from. There is a couple of bigger trees back behind him a little bit, which he could go and grab.
Head back over and see what's happening. Again, nice pan round of the scenery.
See how Alex goes here. He's thing with Alex, I think he's got enough logs. It's just his loading skills have let him down just a touch.
Yeah,
and it may be not his skills. It may be just a choice of equipment. He may next time reconsider what he's going to use.
That's right. Now looking at gaming with James here, he's going back for more as well. So he's really underestimated the amount of logs he needed here. Samu's come back to move his equipment out of the way. That's very decent of him.
Right. He's got the benefit of time to be able to do that, doesn't he?
He does indeed. And I think you said there before, Args, I think James has just struggled to find enough trees of a decent calibre where he was. He's had to go right back to really Samu's area to get that last tree that he's just picked up there. So that's right.
That's right. And the interesting thing, Alex has probably actually got enough logs all over the ground here to fill his container quite comfortably. But just with this piece of equipment and the angle on the side of the hill and everything like that, he's just struggling a little bit to get what he needs. He's done a good job actually pushing that pile up. He's got 4 logs there loaded.
He's certainly not disgraced himself. I think he's done an excellent job for a first timer.
Yep. Anytime you're coming into something like this where people have already competed, they understand what Kigarino has been talking about, the pressures and stresses you go through. He's certainly done pretty well.
That's right. Now Gaming with James has gone back for another tree. He's not giving this one up.
No, just seeing what Alex is trying to do down here. He's got some good logs further down, which it looks like he might be trying to push up into a stack and get picked up. Again, working in around the brush, so it's a little bit hard to see them all. But he's had to go a long way for that tree, hasn't he, FSG?
He has. He really has. And there's so many stumps there now, it's kind of really quite difficult to get in and out of there.
It's a good size though. That should certainly be enough to fill him up without even looking at his container.
Yeah, no question. Actually, the guys are pretty close here. It could be a close run thing for second place here.
Which was Alex. What's he doing? Checking his container.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that'll come with experience, is actually being able to see visually and look at that and know it's not full.
That's right. Yeah.
The only thing it's really going to tell him is maybe how many logs he might have to pick up to get it, but let's see. Gaming with James is heading over with the high lift there to get his logs picked up. So we've got a nice neat stack. Just cut them.
I think this will absolutely be enough for him and get into the right position to pick it up. Will not need any more after this.
Not quite sure why he's manoeuvring the way he was. He kind of seemed to be in a position to be able to pick it up end on. To push them up, right. He's going to use the little bumpers on the front of the grapple, on the front of the high lift to be able to push those up into a slightly neater pile. But more time he spends wasting doing that, the more chance that Alex has to get his container full. You see a log disappear in there now. It's still not quite there.
That's right. He's almost pushed them too close to his truck here. Not sure if he's going to be able to pick these up easily now. And he's on the angle here. He's on the angle of the hill. So he's almost a bit of a ditch here, which is throwing him off as well. Oh! Yeah. He's getting some collisions. He's getting some strange collisions with the back of the container, I think, and the back of the trailer. Not allowing him to get the grapple down onto the floor.
Alright. Let's see what Alex has got here. He's got a couple of okay sized logs here. There's one I'd really certainly be targeting if I was him, and that's what he looks like he's going for. They seem to be the most profitable.
Right, gaming with James is full. Just shutting the doors now.
Alex is not that far behind. I feel that this log's going to be enough to give him a full container. So it could be coming down to, if Gaming with James carries on heading the way he is. We did see one of the competitors last time go up around the top of the map.
He's stuck here as well.
There's a stump on his left, and then he's trying to get over Alex's logs.
Yeah.
And he is really struggling. Like I said, I thought it was a bad decision for him to turn around and face the opposite direction, but...
Alex is full. Alex is full. Oh, but James has cleared himself. He's just about... But they're going completely different directions. So this could be interesting.
They are. I know last time we had one of the competitors go around this high route and come down into the back of the sawmill, but I don't know which way you're going.
I'll follow Alex if you want.
Okay. I've got the pink container up here. Pink and blue with Gaming with James. We'll see how he goes. He's flying out here and he's going to be up on this track very, very quickly.
Oh, Alex jackknifed there ever so slightly, but he's recovered it very quickly. Now, again,
James has got caught turning out. He's tried to take too much off the corner and he's got the low loader beached on a bit of a bank. He's had to back up. It's cost him about 10 seconds.
Okay, Alex is onto the main road. He didn't take the dirt track as well. I'm sure that's the right one to take, actually. It's the next one.
Right. Gaming with James has just turned down the road, which I think will carry on if he follows this the whole way down. We'll get him into the back of the sawmill.
Yeah, Alex has done his homework. He's taken the dirt road off the main road, but he's jackknifed again. These with the container at the back of the trailer, they really are light on their steering, aren't they? You can really lose weight of your rear axle.
They are. And Gaming with James is just heading past our original grapple course, which we gave up on. Oh, but he's clipped the bridge and he's jackknifed right in the middle. He's going to have a car right on top of him in just a second as well. He's managed to recover, but that's cost him a few seconds. A few precious seconds he could probably do without losing.
Well, Alex has just arrived at the bottom sawmill. He's going past the log pool.
Oh, this is going to be actually quite tight. We're coming down the hill into the back of the sawmill.
I can see him as well. I can just see him arriving.
Oh, he's zigzagging. He's losing a little bit of control. But Game with James has made it through there first. I can see Alex coming through.
Here comes Alex now. Very close, guys.
I think James actually did some research. I do believe that the route he took was faster, even with his little incidents.
Yeah, I think that's the faster route.
Could see that one come to play again.
Very well played.
Right. Just on 23 minutes there for the last one. Kiorino's saying the trailers are frustrating. I'm assuming by the length and the lack of clearance and everything like that, which is, I guess it's the same for everyone, but it is something everyone has to grapple with.
That's right. That's right. Very good.
Well, there we are.
Another rather excellent round of games, actually.
Yeah. It's dishing up something different every time. All right, we'll just wait for the scores to come through, but your main takeaway from today so far, FSG? What'd you say?
Fast times. People are getting a lot slicker. You can see it, can't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, lots of fast
I've
times.
been most impressed watching the guys who've been using the Volvo grapple loader, because that has just been, watching Tobias and Modern Logging race off and sort of load together. The Speed Modern Logging won that first, or caught up with that first match.
it's really coming to the fore as a machine. That, at the beginning you would never have plucked that one out as a fast loading machine, but it's really come into its own, hasn't it?
Yeah. Just the fact if you're smart with where you put your logs, and you can just stay in one spot and just spin it around, manipulate the logs, and it's pretty quick.
That's right.
The scores are up. Let's go and have a look at those.
Scores are up. Let's go and have a look. So as we expected there, very fast time from Samu. A little bit of a penalty, but not much at all. Almost full.
No.
In with James actually filled his container completely in the end. And a small penalty for Alex. But very good.
Very
good.
Ended up very close. Very close in the end with game with James and Alex for that last spot. And but Summit a very clear winner, and good to see them all, even with the variety of trees they had to pick around with and deal with. It was good to see them all pretty much maximising their loading.
It was indeed.
And my takeaway from those two matches was seeing Alex develop across the two. I think he learned quite a lot from both of those, and he persevered and got that container full right at the end there.
He did. No, he played that really well.
Just
on
came
a
up
tough
against
course
two
as
very
well,
fast
right?
loaders.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, two tough courses. Both the chaos courses are challenging courses. Well, there we go. Another round done.
Round 4. So we've only got one more round left in the regular season, so to say.
We do, and then we're on to the finals in
That's
July.
Right. July, sometime in July. We're not sure yet.
Yes, we might have to be clever about scheduling with that one, because it's quite a lot of finals and semi-finals and things to work out. So we may split.
So I think we can carry on.
I was going to say we may split solos and teams over maybe 2 streams.
That's right. So if anyone's interested, we haven't talked about it today, and we probably won't now, but we will share the final structure in Discord, and you can have a look and study that and ask any questions. It's not set in stone yet, so if there's any comments or things that could maybe improve it a little bit further, let us know. We're always looking for ways to improve. But as always, a huge thank you to Farmer Hamish for all his hard work in the background, making this all run as smoothly as it does. Very much appreciated. And to everyone who's competed today, pleasure to have you all here. Great to see you all making those big improvements, big strides in your speed and teamwork, and what do we call it? The Sharp Farmer.
The Sharp Farmer Swim.
The Sharp Farmer Swim. Taking that river course. Good to see some innovation coming too. So you guys are
that was nice.
New things, which is cool.
That was nice. Also, I think a big shout out again, as always, to Thrustmaster for their support of Logging League. Actually, I've got a question in the chat here from FarmSim Freak. You have a tutorial for setting up the joystick you used. I got one today. There is a setup video with a crib sheet for the Thrustmaster T16000 on my channel. So if you want that, go check it out. I am about to do one for the Jewels as well, so keep an eye open for that coming. But yes,
is that why you reset your keybinds?
Yeah.
You can go through the whole process. I'll reset my keybinds so I can show you how to reset them.
Yeah. Oh, Hamish has nailed it. It's not Sharp Farmer anymore, it's Shark Farmer.
Shark Farmer. There you go.
Very good.
Shark Farmer. Doo-doo.
Very good. And again, G-Portal as well. Shout out to G-Portal for providing the service for us to be able to host the game. So brilliant of them to support us as well.
Yep. Everyone who's watching, pleasure to have you guys here. Hope you've enjoyed that, and keep an eye out for the next round. Results will be up in Discord and on the website, loggingleague.com.
That's right. And
other than that, thank you, FSG. Been a blast.
No, thanks, buddy. It's been a good one, hasn't it? Really, really nice. Felt like a fast-paced event tonight. It was good.
It did. Yeah, carried it on going.
It was good. Right. You look after yourself. Enjoy your day. Your day's just starting as mine is finishing.
I will. And we'll catch you later on anyhow.
Yes, indeed. And everyone, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and we will see you again very soon.
Over and out. We'll catch you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Go, 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 go!
off and moving here.
And Taylor has made the first cut, very closely followed by Digger. I'm basically seeing a very fast start from Digger and Hillboys, but there's a lot to play for still, and a lot of time to go.
Look at this, we've got a loader on its side.
He may have to reset this if he can't write it. GTR is lining things up. The guys can get this in, they are going to be in prime position. But look at that, a bit of teamwork there. GTR just reversing ever so slightly to help Hillboys get those into the truck. That's a genius strategy.
They actually have a good amount of trees there ready to load. I'll tell you what, this is unbelievably close. He's honking. I think he is on his way out. So we're just getting the console team coming in now to slow the container. Farmer Hamish is on his way in. He's running straight down the train tracks. No care at all for his well-being.